cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive, and he will give you a great
good morning,
price
everyone.
Right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own...
How's the audio? I moved the camera, so how's the audio when I'm standing here? Everything cool? Hey, Jeff.
One pair of high-quality diabetic
I just moved the camera just a little bit, so I have fewer things in my way.
Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're
Hey, Jonathan.
Provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop.
Everyone should be up. Set your clock for 5:55 a.m. Eastern, then you can.
Amputation due to diabetes is preventable.
It actually should be better here.
One of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority.
Hey, Dallas.
954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's
I can see the chat.
THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA.
Hey, Greg.
3782.
Here we go.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1.
All right. Yes. 5 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's Monday, August 17th, 2020. My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome, one and all. So much happening, so much going on. Oh, my goodness. Nancy Pelosi is working a scheme with the post office that you will hear only on the Steve Kane Radio Show, because I know what they're doing. Not because I'm on any inside meetings. It's quite obvious what they're doing with this mail-at-home business, and we're going to talk about that. But I got to tell you, our South Florida radio listeners, there has been a huge loss. Sonny Fox, radio legend Sonny Fox, has died. And Sonny Fox, maybe, next to Steve Kane, of course, but Sonny Fox on the FM dial very well may have been the number one top personality in the history of South Florida radio. I know there's people will throw other names around, but man, when I was in high school and middle school, Sonny Fox was the guy, and I used to call his show when he was doing mornings on Y100. It wasn't that hard to get through. You'd be surprised. I wasn't totally chronic, but I used to call in, and, I was a kid, and it's pretty sad. Sonny Fox, South Florida radio DJ for decades, has died at the age of 73. WPLG, they write this. Sonny in the morning, Sonny Fox, a South Florida radio disc jockey for decades, has passed away. A fixture in South Florida. He worked at WSHE 103.5 FM, WHYI Y100, Magic 102.7, and KISS FM. And I think the Y100 days with Athlete's Foot were the highlight. His wife Janet wrote of his passing on Facebook. Today I lost my husband and best friend. Sonny, back in the 90s, you passed me in the hall of Magic 102.7 FM every day. You told me later you didn't know my name. This is what the wife wrote on Facebook. I was just the brown-haired girl from the sales department. Ever since then, you always called me your Mousy Brown. She's white, by the way. You slipped away peacefully today, and I know you are resting comfortably. That's what his wife wrote on Facebook. She said Sonny died on Friday at their home in, how do you say this, Dunedin, Florida? Dunedin? I hear that, I see this name all the time. She did not say what the cause of death was, although it was not COVID related. So Sonny Fox has died. Oh my goodness. Oh my good. I know it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's sad. I know. I love Sonny Fox. He was the greatest. He was the greatest. I was a big, huge fan of Sonny Fox. I know. I love Sonny Fox. He was the greatest. Yeah. But anyway, that's that. Oh my goodness, Sonny Fox. Man, oh man. Steve was good friends with Sonny Fox, so maybe he'll talk about him a little bit later. I did not know him that well. Okay, I'm not going to pretend. Yeah, a lot of these people, they know everybody. He probably had no idea who I was or remembered me. But I did some interning, which is, working for free over there at Magic and a little bit at Y100, just pulling carts. I didn't get paid or anything. I wasn't on the air. And then a friend of a girl I was dating used to do traffic on his show when he was on Magic. And I met him once or twice on some social occasions. He wouldn't remember who I was, but I knew who he was. Sonny Fox has died. Oh, my goodness. 73. It makes you feel old when you see these people you've grown up with passing away. But that's, I would say, so far as I know, now if anybody out there has any others out there, out of the FM radio legends of South Florida, I think Sonny Fox was the last one. Who was left alive from that era of the FM radio days that was like, that was like a huge star? Well, I guess Sonny Hirsch is around, who was with him for a while. Sonny Hirsch is a good guy, but I mean, like the main guy, I think that's about it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, well listen, lots going on. If anybody has any thoughts on Sonny Fox, you are certainly welcome to call in. I'll ask Steve about him. I did mention it to Steve this morning. I was talking to Steve on the phone, and he was like, oh my goodness, because I know he was good friends with Sonny Fox. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. All right, let's get to Ms. Pelosi, Madam Speaker of the House, and what's going on here. Okay. I saw a video online last night, and I didn't catch what state this was from. In fact, I was in bed going to sleep. I had one eye open, and my wife showed it to me. And I don't know what state it was from. So if anyone knows what state this was from, please let me know. A woman was showing her mail-in ballot, and her brother has her same address. I guess she lives with her brother. She's a Republican. Her brother's a Democrat. And she was showing the outside envelope of the mail-in ballot. Did anyone see this? What state was this from? And they had this long serial number on the outside of the envelope for the mail-in ballot. And there was a letter on each one. His had a D inside the number, and hers had an R, which means you can look at the number and tell which ballot is a Republican ballot, going to a Republican voter, that is, or a Democrat. Okay? And that's not good, because that means you can toss votes out. So if anyone saw that video, could you tell me where that was? What state that was in? But the Democrats are always scheming. They tried to remove this president from office. They tried to, you want to talk about election interference? They tried to overturn the 2016 election by removing President Trump from office, and they failed. There were other things too. I don't need to go through the Hannity list of everything that's happened in the last 5 years since Trump came down the escalator, but they did. They failed, and they're always scheming. They're always scheming. And this vote-at-home mail-in voting racket is their latest scheme. Now, I have mentioned this, I have talked about this on my podcast. People have laughed at me for this. People have mocked me for this. Even my wife rolled her eyes when I said this on the podcast. I'll fix it. Don't you guys worry. I will fix it. But Nancy Pelosi has a scheme, and I'm going to take the break, and when I get back, I'm going to tell you what her devious plot is. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We are chatting today with Frank,
I'll
the
fix it, guys.
owner of two magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield and Beach, 365 South Federal Highway.
No, it's just refresh. It's fine.
A mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway.
No, it's just refresh. It's fine.
You can go to the store and you can get somebody that knows what they're doing, somebody that will like to work with you. They'll find you the right project, the right pieces, the right the first time. So you can get
Is that okay, guys? Is that a little better? Is that okay, guys? Is that a little better? Yeah, good. Great.
Located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, guys, welcome back. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Indeed it is. Hold on. I'm looking for some information here for a spot. All right, here we go. Welcome back. This is the longest-running radio show in Florida, the Steve Kane Show. That's right. And I'll tell you, it's rainy season out there. If you guys haven't noticed, it rains, and it rains like hell, doesn't it? Oh, my gosh. It may not rain for long some days, but when it does, it's like tropical storm level rains out there. And I'll tell you, I have no worries driving on the wet Florida highway, whether it's the Turnpike 95 or just the huge puddles on the side of the road as I'm driving around on 441 and everywhere else, because I have brand new tires on all the cars in my family from Friendly Tire in Margate. Every car in my family and even in my extended family are driving on the road on tires from Friendly Tire. They have prices on new tires that just can't be beat. Now, they have thousands of used tires in stock as well, starting at just $30 for most sizes. In fact, I just went over there when I got my Explorer back from Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca. I took it over to Friendly Tire and got 4 brand new tires put on my Explorer, and I priced them around because I wanted to do the price comparison. The lowest price on the tires for my Ford Explorer that I could find around town were $175 a tire. I know, it's crazy, right? Friendly Mike's price at Friendly Tire, $75 a tire, a $100 savings per tire. And since he doesn't charge you to mount the tire or balance the tire, that's $75 per tire. Brand new tires. That's out the door and on the road. A $100 savings per tire. He has all the name brands you love: Firestone, Bridgestone, all those fancy tires that you like. No matter what type of vehicle you have, he can help you out too, right? If you're driving a sports car, he can help you out. If you have commercial vehicles, he can do that for you too. I've even seen some of our listeners over there buying monster truck tires. I've seen some of our listeners over there. This one really shocked me. It never really occurred to me. I've seen a couple of our listeners over there that own landscaping companies, right? And they have those riding lawnmowers that the guys ride around and mow your lawn going like 35 miles an hour in your front lawn. I've seen guys over there that are listeners to this program buying tires for their lawnmowers at Friendly Tire at Margate. Yeah, I know. They save a lot of money on those tires over there, too. If you have run flats, oh, man, you will not find a deal on tires on run flats like you'll find at Friendly Tire in Margate. If you have an unusually sized tire, call Friendly Mike. He can get anything for you. Okay, and again, he has thousands of used tires in stock, starting at just $30 for new tires. When I went over there and I bought 4 new tires for my Explorer. I bought a used tire for my Spare, which I don't think I'll ever use. But I bought a used tire for my Spare when I bought those 4 new tires, and that's spectacular. Listen, Friendly Tire is in Margate. I don't care where you live. It's well worth the drive to head on over to Friendly Tire in Margate. We have listeners that have driven over 1 hour each way because the deals are so good. Give Mike a call over there. He'll give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. And the address is listed at stevekaneshow.com. 5415 Northwest 15th Street in Margate. Friendly Tire. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. And when you send your friends over, because I know a lot of you are sending friends and family, make sure they tell Mike that they heard about him on the radio too, since they came from you. All right, welcome back, everyone. 20 minutes after the hour. Yeah, okay, so here's Pelosi's scheme. I've been talking about this for weeks. When I first said this on my podcast, my wife rolled her eyes at me when I said this on the podcast. And she's like, "You're crazy." And now, of course, my crazy prediction is coming true, people. And here's what it is. President Trump has said, using the New York example, that we may not have a result on this election for months, years, or ever. There'll be so much confusion and doubt, and there's no question about that. That's what the Democrats want. You know, the Cloward Piven strategy is being used by Pelosi with this mail-at-home business to cause chaos, to cause confusion, to overwhelm the system so it collapses, right? So that's what they do on the left. This mail-in vote will be so chaotic, there will be states that will not be able to have a certified election result. It'll be unknown, or they'll do it before they have all the votes counted or all the information. It's going to cause a scandal. We may be in, they're trying to create a situation where the Electoral College cannot meet. So come Inauguration Day at high noon, President Trump, this is Pelosi's plan here. President Trump is no longer the president. They haven't been able to determine the new president. The Electoral College hasn't met. There's court rulings here, there's court rulings there, there's chaos. Democrats maintain control of the House of Representatives. Pelosi is still the Speaker of the House. And shocker, she becomes the President of the United States while this is being sorted out. The plan. Now again, I'm not saying this is realistic. These are people that are insane. These are people that tried to remove this president from office with this phony impeachment scam they had going on, and now they got a new racket. And the goal of this is for Pelosi to become the president at 12:01 on Inauguration Day. And that's what, now again, I know that sounds crazy to you. We're not dealing with sane people here. We're dealing with Trump derangement syndrome, stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome. These are people that are not seeing things clearly, and of course the mainstream media will be very happy to go along with them on all of this stuff. That's the plan, people. That's the Pelosi plan, for her to become the first female president of the United States. Then she'd have to nominate a vice president, who I don't know who that would be. I know it won't be AOC, she's not old enough yet, you gotta be 35, but who that will be, I don't know. But that's what their plan is. Oh man, I tell you, these people are frightening. They're scary. Scary to me that they think such things could actually happen. Trump derangement syndrome very well could be classified as a real mental disorder one day. It should be. because it is. We've never seen anything like this. They never liked the Republic. George Bush, Ronald Reagan, they don't like any of them. But this one's different because he's not part of the club. And not only is he not part of the club, those in his cabinet are also not a part of the club. But that's the plan for President Pelosi. Could you imagine? President Nancy Pelosi. That's right. And, you know, whatever, with this mail-in voting scam they got going on, whatever the result of the election may be, they will never accept it. They will never accept it. Now, they've got their Democrat convention starting remotely. And did you see they've got this video going around of Joe Biden driving his classic Vet at high speeds? Is that his estate? Is that on his own property? Wow, he lives on a big estate. It's like that. Did he buy that estate with the Chinese money or with the Ukrainian money? I don't know. But they're trying to make him look hip and filled with energy by driving his Corvette without a seatbelt on, I think, at high speeds on his own property. But he gets out of the car and he talks about how he loves this car, he loves this Corvette, and he says when he drives this Vet, he thinks of his son, Bo, and his dad. Poor Hunter. Hunter Biden, no wonder Hunter Biden is getting strippers pregnant and hooked on drugs. His dad never thinks about him. He's always talking about Bo. He gets skipped over. I tell you, poor Hunter. I think even in the Biden family, they ask, where's Hunter? But Biden, he drives this Vet around, and then he starts giving this long speech about why aren't cars made in America anymore, and why aren't people driving American cars like this? We all need to be driving electric vehicles. And we want American manufacturing. The reason we don't have cars made in American-made cars made in America, or I guess American brand cars, because like a lot of foreign cars like Toyotas are made here and things. But the reason we don't have a lot of these classic American brands made here any longer is because of Biden and the unions driving the cost of labor so high up, driving things overseas. But you know, so far as the electric car, I've been trying, my wife and I are probably going to buy a new car next year. And I was over at the mall a week or so ago with my daughter, and we were looking at the Teslas. And they've got one Tesla that's like in the range of affordability, barely for me, I don't know, I guess. And I was trying to talk my wife into getting the Tesla, and she's very much opposed to that. She doesn't want the Tesla. But, you know, I was talking to the salesperson about the Tesla, and the basic Tesla, you get over 200 miles on a charge, and they do, by the way, test. This is one thing I was very curious about. They actually test the mileage with the air conditioning running on low. Not high, but low. You know, because a lot of times when you see a car for sale and it gives you the miles per gallon, the miles per gallon is calculated with the air conditioning off. And in Florida, I mean, we have our air conditioning on Christmas Day, right? You know, that's the way it is, every day of the year. But, you know, so far as the electric car goes, you see, you know, they have this thing that with the electric car, everything's clean. Everything's clean. Half the people in California are driving Priuses, and the other half are driving a Volt or a Tesla. And there's so much smog out there. I mean, my goodness. But the thing about the electric vehicles, okay, just because it doesn't use gas doesn't mean that it doesn't use energy. It takes just as much pollution to power an electric vehicle as it does a gas car. You still got to have the factories make it. You still got to have the power plants turn in the turbines to make the electricity to charge up your vehicle. Such a ridiculous argument. It really is a ridiculous argument, you know. But I don't know. I've wanted an electric car for a long time, and I had a bad experience with one. It was many years ago. I was loaned an electric car by Florida Power and Light with a guy I worked with, and we drove it to North Miami, and we were out of juice. We didn't have enough juice to get back to Fort Lauderdale, but that was a long time ago. They're much better now, I'm told. But Joe Biden, he drove a car. And when he drove the Corvette around, he didn't have a seatbelt on. He was driving at a high rate of speed. He didn't have a seatbelt. And I noticed he didn't have anyone in the car with him. He was driving by himself. And what was that about? Why wasn't he driving around with Kamala in the Corvette? It's a nice vet that Biden has, and it's all tricked out too. Oh my goodness. It has it's a custom vet that he has. If you go and see this video online, just Google Biden vet and it'll come up, the video. He was driving by himself. He didn't even have his wife, Doctor of English, Dr. Jill Biden, in the car with him. And I'm wondering, are people afraid to drive with him? Does no one want to ride in the car while Joe Biden is driving it? It kind of seemed that way to me. I don't know, but I know this. Joe Biden's losing, and we've got some information on that we're going to get to when we get back from this break. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be back. Don't go anywhere.
This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts
Hey, guys.
about why I chose the gardens of Boca Raton to be my final resting place. To be my final resting place.
What's going on, guys?
To be my final resting place.
What's going on, guys? See, that's the delay.
To be my final resting.
So I guess it's about a 5-second delay. Let's count. I'm going to clap my hands. So I guess it's about a 5-second delay. Let's count. I'm going to clap my hands. So I guess it's about a 5-second delay. Let's count. I'm going to clap my hands. So I guess it's about a 5-second delay. Let's count. I'm going to clap my hands. So I guess it's about 10-second delay. 10-second delay.
At the time of their grief and sorrow, the gardens of Boca Raton dedicated to all those who have lived and all those who live today. Let the gardens take care of your family as they are taking care of my family. Schedule a tour today. Call 877-PLAN-561 or online at thegardens.com.
Yes, what's your name?
Steve Kane sent you.
It's hurricane season again. This year, forecasters predict
Yeah, what do you want to talk
10
about?
hurricanes. Are you prepared if a hurricane strikes? Ace Hardware Deerfield and
want
Beach Ace
what?
Hardware is your hurricane preparation location. You don't want to go through hurricane season
Well, that's-
without a generator. Ace carry generators for all size homes at prices to fit every budget. Once a hurricane is on television, generators are the first thing to sell out. But you will have the security of knowing you will not be without electricity if a hurricane hits. With your generator from Ace, you will have the security for every hurricane season to come. Ace also have an incredible selection of chainsaws to cut away the fallen debris. Ace Hardware Deerfield is just south of Hillsboro on the west side of US 1. Beach Ace Hardware is located at 232 Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware, your first stop for hurricane prep. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show, live in Morning Drive on 1470 AM and 95.3 FM.
All right, I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Welcome back, everyone. 32 minutes after the hour. It's Monday. Oh, man. You know, tomorrow we got primary day here in South Florida tomorrow. And, you know, we don't spend any time on local elections too much. There is only one thing on the ballot that I'm looking at, on my ballot. Just one. I'm going to vote tomorrow in the primary, and I'm showing up to vote for one reason and one reason only. This is true. To vote for Laura Loomer. Okay, I am in Laura Loomer's congressional district. I am going to vote for Laura Loomer tomorrow. It's a 6-way primary. They've got 5 jerks running against her in the Republican primary. They're trying to steal the nomination away from Laura Loomer. these never-Trumpers in the Republican establishment. So if you're in that area that she is in, go out and vote for Laura Loomer tomorrow. I'll be voting for Laura Loomer tomorrow. Roger Stone has endorsed Laura Loomer, as has Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz has endorsed Laura Loomer too. All right, so those are some pretty good endorsements, I would say. Matt Gaetz, Roger Stone, and I don't know. I don't endorse people because what's that worth? But I'm telling you, I am voting for Laura Loomer, and I am very, very excited to do that. And I look forward to voting for her again in November when she's the nominee as my voice in Congress. And it's also, I'll tell you, the president's voting absentee. He's voting for Laura Loomer too, as is the First Lady. Laura Loomer's district includes not just my house, but Mar-a-Lago. But we're in different parts of the district. You know, I would compare my house to Mar-a-Lago. But the president's voting absentee in the primary. And so Laura Loomer will be the voice of President Trump and the First Lady, Melania Trump, in the House of Representatives. I can't wait. I'm very excited about that. All right, welcome back, guys. So much going on. Isn't this, this is just one of these crazy news weekends. How many of you take a break from the news over the weekend? I do. I don't watch too much news over the weekends because it makes my blood pressure get high. It really does. It literally, my blood pressure gets very, very high watching the news day in and day out. It is meant to depress you. It is meant to confuse you. It is meant to make you feel as if things that are not true are true. And, I take a break from it. I have been watching a lot of ID, the crime shows, but I started watching over the weekend. I was getting hooked. I was watching on YouTube a bunch of YouTubers that live in RVs and they travel America in RV. They RV, not the van. There's van life. There's people that live in vans that are on YouTube, and then there's the people that live in RVs. And the van life people are usually millennials that don't want to work and want to make a living off of YouTube and Instagram, And the RV living people are people that are my age or older, who their kids usually have grown up, and they sell everything once the kids move out, and they buy an RV and they drive America, I guess, until the RV breaks down. But there's this one couple I must have watched 30 videos from this couple over the weekend. Let me get the name of their YouTube channel. You guys can check these people out. Hold on, I know I can get hooked on I can get kind of hooked on binge watching. Let me see here. Everything I've watched on YouTube. I'm going through my history, and I cannot remember the name of this YouTube channel of these people. I've watched so many of their videos over the weekend. They're called the RV Odd Couple. The RV Odd Couple. Any of you guys watch this stuff on YouTube? The RV Odd Couple, they're a husband and wife. The husband's in his early 50s. Wife's in her, I'm assuming, 40s or 30s. I'm not sure. And they have a daughter who's about between 5 and 7. And they have a very nice RV, and they travel America with their daughter and this RV. And they have I must have watched 20 or 30 of their YouTube videos over the weekend, following their adventures around America in the RV. The RV Odd Couple. And I can only assume that they're Republicans because they were telling, there was this one, I've camped and been in RVs, from time to time, not for a long time, but when I was younger. And they were in an RV park somewhere late at night, and they heard some banging on the top of their RV in the middle of the night, and they woke up, and the husband and the wife both have weapons. She has a gun, the husband has 2 guns, and the husband took both of his weapons and went to the front of the RV where the door is, and had the window cracked just a little bit so he could see out, waiting for an intruder with both of his weapons, while the wife was with her gun with their young daughter in some safe space they have somewhere else in the RV, and she was in a stance with her weapon. And I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh my gosh, these have got to be Trump people. And yeah, so you got to check them out. The RV Odd Couple. I get so hooked on YouTube. It's crazy. I start watching some of these people. I'm not into RV living or any of this stuff, but they're very interesting people. The RV Odd Couple, check them out. And they do videos on. They had one RV video about how they have sex in their RV when they with the kid in the RV. It's all kinds of craziness going on. It's pretty good stuff. The RV Odd Couple. All right. So anyway, let's get back to the stuff that's relevant. So the Democrat convention is this week, and they began the convention with this Corvette video that I just told you about with Joe Biden. Michelle Obama is going to be speaking tonight. You know, this convention is going to be the biggest dud in the history of conventions, doing it on Zoom and remotely. And there was a major bomb a few weeks back, Comic-Con, which is the biggest science fiction convention ever, and is an event that hits... Is Comic-Con in San Diego? I think Comic-Con's in San Diego. The San Diego Comic-Con's the big one. And the entire city of San Diego stops down for the San Diego Comic-Con. And it's really an amazing thing. I've never gone. It's too big and crowded for me. But I know about it, and I've had friends that have gone. And because of COVID, they did Comic-Con remotely. And it was the biggest bust in the history of anything. I mean, it was so anticlimactic. And you know what happens typically at Comic-Con, it's as big as a political convention, probably bigger than a political convention. And there's all kinds of big stars from your favorite shows and movies, and they come out and talk about what's coming up next season and all this stuff. And it's very exciting. And it bombed. And even people that have spent their entire lives going to Comic-Cons have been talking about online about what a dud it was, not being able to be there and experience it and watching it on YouTube. Okay? And it was a dud. Big dud. Huge dud, Comic-Con. Which is something no one ever thought would happen. The Comic-Con people, they thought probably this was the future. They could even make more money doing this because they don't have to rent out the convention space and all that stuff. It just was well, that's how the Democrat convention is going to be this week. And Donald Trump is so smart. The Trump campaign, they think outside the box. Every night of the Democrat convention at 11 p.m., that's the convention's over, whatever happens, it's over by then. Every night at 11 p.m., the Trump campaign, the Republicans, are going to have a special program to rebut everything that occurred that day and night at the Democrat convention, which is, so far as I know, this has never been done before. Never been done before. They're going to have this nightly 11 p.m. rebuttal all week. And I'm telling you, like with Comic-Con, go online and Google Comic-Con disaster, Comic-Con bust. I mean, Comic-Con did it like Biden and the Democrats are doing the DNC. And if Comic-Con bombed, you know this did. And I even watched, they had some of the panels online. I tried to watch a little bit of it from some people from some of the Star Trek shows and things, because there's some new Star Treks. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is terminal. This is terminal. You know, and that's going to be the Democrat convention. And see, Trump and the Republicans, we're very lucky because they're going first. We're going second. So we're going to see this disaster. We're going to see this bomb of a convention. And the Republicans and Donald Trump can do whatever it is they do, knowing what doesn't work and what people rejected and were laughing at in the mockery of it. Now, this thing with AOC, this is great stuff. This civil war inside the Democrat Party, this is great stuff, people. So, originally, there's been another update with the commie bartender herself, AOC. Now, originally, they were not going to let AOC speak. And then they were going to let her speak by nominating Bernie Sanders, and everyone was all excited in her camp. And then the word came out that they're going to let her speak, but only for 60 seconds. And I was talking on the show Friday, well, what if she goes 90 seconds? Or 600 seconds? What if she doesn't stop? They are having AOC pre-record her speech. It's going to be pre-recorded to stop her from running over her time. which has her pissed off beyond imagination. But here's the thing. A lot of people have been talking about this over the weekend. How much of this is going to be pre-recorded? Will Biden's be pre-recorded? Michelle Obama speaking tonight. Is that going to be... See, when you go live, you guys have seen the Zoom. Any of you guys have any of you participated in a Zoom call? Have you watched anything on Zoom? When you go live with these remote things over the internet, it's not reliable. It's just not. It's not as reliable as the old-fashioned satellite news feeds. It's just not reliable. It may work, it may not work. All of a sudden, the person may lose Wi-Fi, the mic may not work. They're out of sync because there's latency, there's a delay between the person speaking and the control room, and it's a mess. So how much of what we see this week is going to be pre-recorded? I can think of nothing less exciting than that. So the president's going to accept his nomination at the White House, and he can't do it, this is ridiculous. Listen, it doesn't matter where he accepts his nomination. The Democrats are not going to approve of it. So he might as well do it at the White House, right? When he mentioned Gettysburg, they didn't like that. When they mentioned it, so it doesn't matter where he does it. They're going to be, haters are going to hate. So it doesn't matter where he does it. But I'll tell you this: if they're doing a pre-recorded commercial, kind of DNC convention, it's going to look canned. It's not going to look fresh. And Biden, this is the thing with his acceptance speech. He may have already recorded his acceptance speech, or maybe in the process of it. And when you watch that acceptance speech without the crowds cheering and everything, it's like this is crazy. It's like a rock concert with no audience. Have any of you been to something with no audience like this in person? It's great. But here's the thing with Biden, his acceptance speech. It's doubtful that it will be live. Most think it'll be recorded. So if he's recording his acceptance speech, look for edits, and you'll find edits if there's any change in anything. Look for the edits. These convention acceptance speeches typically go on for quite a while. How long could Biden look energetic and speak? So if they're doing it pre-recorded, I imagine it may have taken them the better part of a week to get it locked down in the can and ready to go. But a pre-recorded... See, if you go to Comic-Con, part of the problem at Comic-Con was not just it wasn't exciting not being there. There were too many technical glitches. And those are tech people. They had Hollywood working. Comic-Con is put together by the people that do the Emmys and the Oscars, because it's the movie studios and TV studios and streaming services promoting all their crap for the new year. So they had top technical people, and Comic-Con was a bomb. Not just technically, it was uninteresting in a format like that. So how are the Democrats going to be able to do what Comic-Con couldn't do, with Hollywood running the whole show, not political news television people? Oh, this is exciting. I can't wait. This is going to be a disaster. The Democrat National Convention is going to be boring, which is good. We want it to be boring. That's good for us. And it's also going to be just a total disaster from the first day to the last day. And I'm looking forward to it. All right, listen, we'll take our last break of the first hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus?
Hold on, guys. I'm just going to move something here.
Did, and she went to any lab test now at Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners. And tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Dr. Matez, we talk about charisma. Hormone replacement pellet therapy brings back a lot of things in people, and one of the things I think it brings back is charisma, because I've met many listeners that are patients of Dr. Matez that I've met before they were patients of Dr. Matez, and I notice a big difference. And one thing I notice is a lot of confidence in guys after they start hormone replacement pellet therapy.
I agree with you 100%, bro.
Yeah,
Get your mojo back. It's really what
It changes your life. It changes the way you view the world. You know how I put it once? This was years and years ago. Looking at the world after having the hormone therapy, and you look at the world, and the world is like a technicolor, and when you give up the hormone therapy, it's like watching the world in black and white. It's just an amazing difference. Like
That's a
fuller,
fantastic analogy.
isn't it?
It is.
And it's true. That's a big difference.
It is. As we get older, we both physically and mentally break down, and we tend to get into a very black and white type of existence, a lot of people. Everybody's different. But when you get your hormone levels back and you get that vigor back, you feel good. Suddenly things are very bright and colorful.
I mean, I experience this myself, and I see it on listeners, is I'll see a guy, and he's like, and then I'll see him after he has become a patient of yours and with hormone replacement pellet therapy. He seems like he's standing up strong, confident, 10 feet tall. What is it about hormone replacement pellet therapy that does that to guys?
I believe it's because you're putting God's nectar back into the body, basically. God gave us testosterone in particular to give us energy and strength and endurance and muscle mass. It's what makes not just men, it's what makes people people, and a lack of it takes all of those things away from you.
We'll meet with Steve Kane listeners at no charge.
Always.
What is the number they can call to make that appointment?
561-953-5490. 561-953-5490.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show. New York Times, how to watch the Democratic National Convention. Michelle Obama and Bernie Sanders will headline the first night. That's tonight. We have never, is it safe to say, had a convention like this before. New York Times writes, with the coronavirus pandemic still raging, it will be almost entirely virtual. Delegates will not be in Milwaukee. The stars of the week are Joseph Biden Jr. and Senator Kamala Harris. They'll deliver speeches from Wilmington, Delaware, nearly 700 miles away. How to watch, okay? The convention will air from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time every day, Monday through Thursday. There are several ways to watch. The New York Times will stream the full convention every day. The official live stream will be available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox News will carry the convention from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. each night. C-SPAN, CNN, MS-13BC, and PBS will cover the full 2 hours each night. Streams will be available on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Amazon Prime by searching DNC. You can watch on a PlayStation 4. Oh, wow. Okay, if you have Alexa, you can say, Alexa, play the Democratic National Convention. Representative Clyburn of South Carolina, the highest-ranking black member of Congress, and a hugely influential figure in South Carolina politics, and his endorsement will be speaking. Oh, okay, good. They'll have Governor Cuomo will be speaking. A bunch of other people. This one, John Kasich, what a jerk. He'll be there. Amy Klobuchar, exciting stuff. Oh, yes. I'm already falling asleep. Oh, my goodness. And you know, how many of them will be wearing masks? And watching them remotely, that's not exciting. That's like watching them at when they're a pundit on one of the cable shows. Richie the bus driver, good morning. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
mentioned.
There you go.
I had a friend of mine that 3 months ago passed away, and they Zoomed his funeral. And I got to tell you, it was a nightmare.
What happened? What happened at the Zoom funeral?
Well, at the Zoom funeral, there was people from all over the place. The volume went completely out from the main people that were running it. The echoing was awful. It was all chopped up. I mean, it was a total mess.
So it compounded the grief. I imagine it compounded the grief of the funeral, made it worse. So they're trying to have a respectful funeral, and were there people running around trying to fix it while the grieving family was there?
Yeah, well, the grieving family ran it. His daughter ran it out of her house with her.
Oh my! They didn't have the body in the house. Where was the body?
He already was cremated.
Ah.
This was like a service, like 3 weeks after he passed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but it was awful, and it's just like when you have a like the State of the Union, and then the Democrat gets up there or Republican, and he has to speak in front of.
Well, see, the internet's not reliable. So like I do YouTube Live every day, and some days things are perfect, and some days things are problematic, because the internet is not as reliable as television, being there in person and having things wired up. So sometimes things happen.
You mentioned so many different things this morning. I wish I had the time to really.
Oh, I'm here till 9, Richie. I'll just sit down and listen to you.
Give you a break. You and Steve could take the day off. Let me tell you something. I binge watch too, by the way. You know that. I have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I have like 3,000 stations. I have a system that has 3,000 stations on TV. And then I say, yeah, heck with this. And I put on YouTube. I've gone through weddings like you did. That's probably how you got McElhaney's wedding. They got everything on you.
I don't watch too much television anymore. I mostly watch YouTube.
They have a deal there. I'll give you something to watch. First, I want to tell you they have a deal there where they take trailers, 18-wheeler trailers, and they build houses out of them. That's fact.
Yeah, I watched that. You got to watch this one channel, the RV Odd Couple. This couple, listen to this, they were about to get divorced, and they had a baby, and they decided to sell everything, buy an RV, and travel America, and it saved their marriage. RV Odd Couple.
And you talk about high blood pressure. I gave you a website the other day, and you watched that guy. Remember, there's another one called Woke, WOKE.net.
Yeah.
You see it now. They'll show you the reruns of last night. They have a black lady in Portland, okay, and I can understand her grief. Her son, she's on a mic. Now,
yeah, he's
I
retired.
thought that free speech, you can't yell fire.
He's a retired bus driver.
Well, you talk about inciting a riot. She had a microphone and she talked and talked and talked. Her son was shot 9 times in the back by a.
Oh.
And obviously, I don't know what happened there. He was acquitted. I don't know what her son did. They never tell you the other half or whether he shot at the cops. He was shot in the back, according to her, 9 times. Now, she's calling for not when the rubber bullets come at them, and when the tear gas comes at them, they should shoot with.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty radical.
Doesn't agree with Black Lives Matter, including you, me, and everyone else. Any Trumper, any white person that doesn't agree are KKK, Nazis, and racists.
Yes.
This is totally what it is. I'm telling you straight up. And she calls for every night and take over the city of Portland.
Oh, yeah. That's what they do. That's what they do.
But this isn't just Portland. The reason I'm saying woke, it's about 30 cities in the United States. This is taking place every day and night. It is so tragic.
Well, listen, this is what they don't get, okay? All of this violence that they've put together, they picked a bad year to do it, right? I mean, not just because of the popularity of Trump, but people this year have really been hurting because of the shutdown with coronavirus. And to pull this crap on communities that are hurt, I mean, look, the police union endorsed the president over the weekend in New York City. That's huge. I don't know if that's ever happened before. That's huge. And
endorsed, by the way, the post office endorsed Biden.
Yeah. So they endorse Biden, and then they want to handle the election. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head too. By the way, Mark Levin called it exactly how you did. But the difference that Mark Levin said was that the elections, people don't realize it. It'll go to the courts, but it doesn't go to federal courts. It goes to local courts, which have been filled up with liberal judges.
First, it does.
What it takes is one judge to throw the Republican out, and
So Mark Levin agrees with me that these Trump derangement people think we're going to have President Pelosi on Inauguration Day because of the chaos.
No, she's going to be able. The courts, or either her or the courts will pick the new president. That's who they'll pick their party. She won't be president. She'll pick a Democrat.
You're saying they think it's going to be he thinks that it's going to be up to the House of. This is the thing. I don't have the clip here to play. I played it a week or two ago on my podcast. Pelosi about 2 or 3 weeks ago gave an interview on MS-13 and she was talking about how she had just gotten her continuation of power briefing because she's in the line of succession. And she talked a great detail about it, and that's what got me thinking she thinks she is going to be the president on Inauguration Day. But here's the thing. It'll go to the Supreme Court, but the mail-in voting confusion is only going to happen in the states that do the mail-in voting, which are going to be Democrat states. And the president can win by such an overwhelming majority that the electoral votes in California or whatever other Democrat states won't matter, and they'll still be able to have the Electoral College certify the election for President Trump. But they're running. They do think that there's a path to either have Pelosi become president, or as Levin says, have the House of Representatives choose, and the Democrats will probably maintain the House.
Nancy Pelosi, by the way, you see, what you don't realize is Nevada, Nevada at you. The governor is a Democrat, but the head of the elections is a Republican. This Democrat went totally around the head of elections. The Republican went to the commission or whatever it was up there, claiming that this was a health hazard, and because of COVID, he got the right to change this to the mail-in. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. They've got a scheme, and Pelosi said that come Inauguration Day, if it's not decided, Trump will not be the president. Barr will no longer be the Attorney General. So I'm not saying that this plan is realistic. We're dealing with people that are mentally ill, suffering from stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome, and to them, this makes sense.
Well, if you watch the Democratic convention tonight, I'm going to point this out to any Democrat that calls, including Al from Carl Springs. This will be not for what they look for the future of this country. This will be totally an attack on Donald Trump. This is what they want. This is going to be.
Well, of course it's going to be, but I'm going to watch mostly looking for screw-ups. And I'm predicting it's going to be a disaster. And I haven't seen it, for example, Michelle Obama speaking tonight, and comrade, what's his name, Bernie Sanders. Is that going to be live or recorded? And recorded just ain't going to fly.
Yeah, but listen to me. Michelle, I'm going to say it straight up. Michelle Obama, along with Oprah Winfrey and the whole clan of them, I'm going to say it point. And I say what I say. They are the biggest racists in this country.
You mean you say what you think? You say what you think. Well, Oprah Winfrey is recommending a new book for her book club. It's called Caste, like the caste system, and it's about the caste system in America. And I downloaded the free preview of it because I thought, this sounds interesting. I might read it. I've never read an Oprah recommended book before, but I might read it. First page, first chapter, the author says most people agree that America is a racist country. I didn't read any further. I mean, come on. How can I? Good. Oprah Winfrey is rich and successful because of white, they call them Karens now, but white housewives watching her show, making her rich and successful, and now she's going all militant. She's like out of the closet.
Yeah, she's out of the closet.
Well, do you remember Oprah? Oprah used to go to Jeremiah Wright's church in Chicago, but she kept her militancy secret. That's right. All right, Richie, thanks for the call. Oh, my goodness, 2 minutes after 7. We got a break. 1 hour down, 1 hour and 2 minutes down. We'll be right back.
9.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
It's hurricane season again. This year, forecasters predict as many as
Yeah, I
10
moved the camera, and I like this angle better. It also, there's fewer wires this way. It's out of my way. I got a new stand for the camera, and I actually have it on the. I'll take a picture and put it on Instagram later.
Generators are the first thing to sell out, but you will have the
I have it on the
security of
control
knowing you will
board.
not be without electricity if a hurricane hits. With your generator from Ace, you will have the security for every hurricane season to come. Ace also have an incredible selection of chainsaws to cut away the falling debris. Ace Hardware Deerfield is just south of Hillsboro on the
I'll put
west
those
side
pictures
of
on
US
Instagram
1.
later.
Beach Ace Hardware is located at 232 Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware, your first stop for hurricane prep. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if you die? The new life insurance policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive. Due to changes in the insurance industry, all life insurance carriers in 2020 have adjusted their premiums to your advantage. Life insurance rates have been lowered due to the updated mortality tables. People are living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
This is Steve Kane for attorney Barry Siegel. Barry did a great job for me and my family.
I don't have Instagram on my iPad. For some reason, I'll put the picture on Twitter.
Talk about his experience with Barry Siegel.
I want to praise Barry Siegel. And one of the most important things about sponsors is integrity. You have to know that you're dealing with an honest person. I had to go up to Myrtle Beach with my sister because her husband died, and I was helping her out. She had a trust and everything. She had not revised this trust since 1997. And you know, Barry says every 3 years at least you gotta. I called Barry's office because I had a question. I let the secretary know. I said, look, I'm calling from South Carolina. I know the laws are different, and I'm just asking for information for my sister. Now, you know, most people would just blow you off, right? Yeah. You know, almost immediately, within a few minutes, Barry himself called me. I asked my questions and so on, and he answered. He was very patient. I was quite a while with him, and talked about a lot of things, you know, and this and that. But I wanted to say, you know, character, integrity, these are the most important things with sponsors, and all of your sponsors, because I've dealt with a lot of them, they all have that you can trust.
Yeah, I just posted a picture on YouTube that I took with the iPad just now, if you guys want to see.
1-855-FLA 3782. That's 1-855 toll free FLA 3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
This is what I use to vlog with when I make my Disney videos.
Running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Oh, yes. Hey, guys. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. I've been a part of this show for most of that time. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy. Crazy time. Mika Brzezinski, I don't know where her husband was, but on Friday, Mika Brzezinski on MS-13 BC. I know they call it MSDNC, that president called. That's a good one, too. MSDNC. It's easier to say, but I like MS-13 BC, too. Either one works. But anyway, Mika Brzezinski, she was doing the show by herself. She had an epic meltdown on Friday's show. Do you guys want to hear it? Now, Mika Brzezinski, people want, who is she? Where does she come from? Mika Brzezinski's father was the national security advisor to Jimmy Carter while he was president, of course. And she had a meltdown on Trump, oh my goodness, on Friday. And Joe wasn't there. I don't know where her husband was, but she had a panel. You can find this online. You got to watch the video of this. I'm going to play you the audio. She had a group of men, all were in the little square boxes because they're all social distancing over there. And the looks on their faces while she's having this, well, you know what Mika needs to do? She needs to call Dr. Mitch Matez. You know, hormone replacement pellet therapy reverses the signs and symptoms of menopause. The mood swings are one of them. Whatever symptom you ladies have of menopause, it is stopped and reversed 100% with hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Mitch Matez. I didn't mean for this to be a spot, but my wife told me she sounds like she's going through menopause. Oh yeah, maybe that's why Joe wasn't there that day. Here's Mika Brzezinski. She had this epic meltdown on our president. Listen to this.
There's utter disdain that I have for this president, but look at the facts. Look at how he's worn us down, from his paid-off porn star to Russia lies, racism in Charlottesville.
Oh, yes.
Across the board, children in cages. I mean, lie after lie after...
You know, she used to love him until she got all that facial work and she was wrapped up like the Invisible Man in bandages. And Trump said she couldn't come to dinner because she was covered in bandages, you know. And then all of a sudden, her and Joe just flipped.
Lie conspiracy theories? Our country right now is really at a breaking point. If we don't find a way to hold this president accountable with his attempts to undermine the post office and also his apparent negligence, perhaps purposeful,
I like that one, MSBLM.
on saving the American people's this pandemic, are pathetic at this point. With his calamitous coronavirus leadership, it's killing Americans every day. He could be keeping people alive. He's choosing not to. Every day, this president looks more ridiculous. The clothes fall off. I mean, Mitch McConnell, wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. Don't you see what's happening? You want to hold on to the Senate? You're going to have nothing at the rate you're going, at the rate you're letting him go. Can't you see what is happening? I know you have a lot of special interests in your state and maybe money coming in from Russia and interests. Your wife works in the administration. Stop!
Yes.
It's not about losing the Senate. We're losing much more than the Senate. You can be sure that you will never see me on Fifth Avenue. Ever. Ever. Because he has said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue. I believe him.
Saying that he could doesn't mean that he would, Mika. So she's not going down Fifth Avenue, not because BLM and looters have taken over the city. She's afraid Donald Trump is going to be there shooting people.
Leave him. I ask for you to appeal to members of his administration, those who still have a brain, those who aren't somehow brainwashed by the cult leader, or those
culty, I like that,
and so interested in their own special interests and the money they might make somehow that they could care for 1 second about this country. Talk about ditzy. Talk about a ditzy, stupid, botched response to a pandemic that is killing tens of thousands of people, over 160,000 right now. This is on you. It's idiotic, and it's killing people. And you get up there and talk about Joe Biden being wrong? There's nobody who has been more wrong about this than President Donald Trump. Many of those deaths, Mr. President, are on you. Your terrible response to this virus. Obvious, terrible response. But you say that children miraculously just don't get it. You're wrong. There's no one who has been more wrong than you on this, and you're the president of the United States. I'm thinking of Tulsa, where the Trump campaign took the social distancing stickers off the chairs and squished people together and made them click on a waiver saying you can't sue if you get the coronavirus and die from coming to this rally. How stupid can you be at this point if you follow this president? I beg you not to be for your life. But I ask you, Dave Ehrenberg, is there any legal recourse? if you get this virus because of the stupidity of this president. If you
Now, Mika Brzezinski, my wife said that this is a menopausal thing she's going through here. Mika Brzezinski and Joe live here in South Florida. They live in Palm Beach County, which is the same county that Dr. Mitch Matez is located in. So Mika, or Joe Scarborough, if you're listening, or someone is friends with them, gives them the number of Dr. Mitch Matez. Dr. Matez's hormone replacement pellet therapy completely 100% reverses the signs and symptoms of menopause, including the mood swings. And it's a free consultation if you're a listener of the Steve Kane Show. Mika, if you mention the Steve Kane Show, Mika, Morning Joe, you won't even have to pay for the consultation. Call Dr. Mitch Matez, 561-953-5490, 561-953-5490, and online hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I believe menopause is the leading cause of divorce in this country because it's wackadoodle like that, and the guys just can't take it anymore. But Dr. Mitch Matez, he's saving marriages by reversing all the signs and symptoms of menopause. The night sweats too, as well as those mood swings. Gone, Mika. So if you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot. I've been talking about a lot of things today. I mean, what an embarrassment. And when you watch that thing with Mika, there's an entire panel. It must have been like 6 guys. None of them Scarborough. He wasn't there. But they were just, they're in stunned silence. The looks on their faces they were embarrassed for her. And none of them dared say anything while she was going on this menopausal rant against. See, Trump had tweeted about her and Joe, and she had this meltdown, because he had said something negative about the two of them. But I was talking in the first hour before the break. I just state this again. I want to get into some of our audio sound bites because I got a lot of new audio sound bites I want to get to from the weekend, and then Steve will be joining us in just a bit. This mail-in voting, okay, I'm throwing this out. If anyone has seen this, there was a woman online. She has a mail-in ballot. I guess it's for the primaries, and there's a serial number on the ballot, on the outside of the envelope, and on her ballot had an R, and her brother, who has the same address, had a D in it, and he's a Democrat. So the way these mail-in ballots are operating, you can tell if the person receiving it is a Republican or a Democrat on the outside of the envelope. And we were talking, here you've got the Postal Workers Union has endorsed Biden, and now the Democrats are trying to turn the election over. They might as well let SEIU and Acorn run the election. So the Postal Workers Union endorses Biden, and then they're going to handle the election when you can tell on the outside if it's a Republican or a Democrat that's getting the ballot. Are you kidding me? They've got a conspiracy theory, the Democrats, going around right now. It's all over the place. I even saw it in the Daily Mail. They've got video. I don't even know when this video was made. They're implying that it was today or this week or this weekend. It could have been from 5 years ago for all I know. They have video of a postal worker, a postal maintenance worker, removing a couple of old rusty public mailboxes. Those old blue things that are on the sidewalks in some places. And they're accusing the Trump administration of removing mailboxes to try to stop the ballots from being able to be mailed. And, Nancy Pelosi is calling for an emergency session of the House of Representatives over this postal worker thing. The way they are behaving over the post office shows you that this is a scheme for them to steal the election. They're too out of control with their reaction to the post office. Let me tell you this about the post office. I'm not talking about Amazon or Amazon deliveries. I know post office does some Amazon deliveries, but the Amazon drivers do most of the deliveries, at least here. If you shut down the post office, the regular post office for the regular mail for a week, how many of you in this audience would even notice? My mail, I check my mail every day. mostly just to take a stroll out to the front of the house, you know. I check my mail every day because my mailbox is out on the street. And I leave my mail in there almost every day, unless there's a package. I leave it in there every day. And when it's trash day, when I take out my garbage can, I open up the mailbox and put everything that's in there for the week in the garbage bag. 99%, maybe even be more than that, but it might be like 99.8%, but 99% of what comes to me in the mail is junk mail. Junk. Do kids even learn how to write letters in school anymore? When I was in school, we had pen pals. I had a pen pal in Germany. His name was Sven. I remember that very well. Did any of you ever have a pen? When is the last time you have written a letter and mailed it? When is the last time you've paid a bill, like your electric bill or something, and mailed it? Think about it. When's the last time you received a letter from someone? Exactly. The post office is, the only thing I want from the post office is my package from Amazon, thank you. They do that on the weekends, right? Think about it. When is the last time you wrote a letter or received a letter? When is the last time you paid a bill, one of your utility bills, through the mail, or even your mortgage through the mail? You do it all online, don't you? The last thing I had to do by mail was my homeowner's fees, and now they moved that to online finally, thank you. Yeah. The post office is irrelevant. And shut it down. Let's shut it down for 2 weeks and see if anyone notices. 19 minutes after the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll take our break and be back right after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beat. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
This is Lori Kane,
Steve Kane
and I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist.
I put a picture. I got a new stand, and I moved the camera. And I took a picture, put it on Twitter for the YouTube. I like this angle better.
2 cavities. I needed a crown.
You guys like this angle better?
And a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have
if you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Today
all right? If you are subscribed, check and make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell if you don't mind.
952-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for it.
All right, only one opening on the board. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh, hi. So my name is Lisa, and I just want about the mail-in ballot. I got one from, I live in Broward County, and yeah, it definitely has R001.
It has R on it. So the mailman knows.
1R, my name underneath it, barcode on the outside.
All right, and are you a registered Republican?
Yeah.
So the R so the postman, the mailman whose union just endorsed Joe Biden knows that that's a Republican ballot. Oh my goodness.
And it's on the inside too.
Well, the outside's most important. Well, the outside's most important because you don't. People should not know. People should not know.
Exactly. I know. But anyway, so that's Broward County. So I don't know where the one, but you didn't know, but I'm just telling you that. And another interesting thing is, I rent the house that I live in. I've been here for 6 years, and I got 2 other ballots for people. I don't know what their names were. It was names I couldn't pronounce. I've been here for 6 years. I tore them up.
Well, yeah, but if you see what Democrats do is they fill those ballots out too. See, that's the problem with the mail-in, the vote at home racket is people get ballots from people that don't live there anymore or are dead, and they can be filled out and mailed in, and they get counted.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow, that's scary. All right, appreciate it. Thanks so much. Wow, so Broward ballots are telling the postman on the outside of the envelope that it's a Republican ballot. That's not good. You're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I can hear. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up.
I'm from the UK.
Hey, what's going on in the UK?
Yeah, I'm just listening to this show on YouTube. I can't get you on
Yeah.
Listening on YouTube. Democrats are going to try and obviously stop President Trump being reelected. For every month that they stop his nominee coming through, does that mean that he can have more months, more years?
No, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. No, yeah, I know.
That's done, isn't it?
Yeah, congratulations on your Prime Minister, Boris, recovering from the coronavirus. He's the Trump of the UK.
Mentioned, yes, he's never mentioned.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, but he got better, and he got better fast. Boris is awesome. All right, appreciate it from the UK. Let's go to Louisiana. Mike in Louisiana, you're on the radio.
You're actually right when you say that if you shut down the post office for 2 weeks, we wouldn't notice.
That's right. That's why when they have these government shutdowns, that's why the Democrats freak out so much, because their biggest fear is the government shut down for a month or two and no one notices.
And their ego couldn't take it, That's the thing. This whole government thing for some of these people is an ego trip.
Yeah.
So you're right, and the thing is a lot of the stuff we order, we've dealt with Amazon some, but a lot of the stuff we order over the internet or whatever, we get through,
When is the last time you have written or received a letter in the mail?
I can't tell you.
I know. I can't either.
I mean, I don't know.
I can tell you for a fact that my daughter, she's 21 years old, she's never written a letter or received a letter.
Yeah, that's right. And I can't tell you. I mean, I remember in high school, about the 9th grade or whatever, we took a course in penmanship.
Yeah, we used to learn how to write letters. I bet you kids don't even pass notes in school because they got all the apps now that do everything, and bills and things. I'm not exaggerating by this. Each month there might be maybe 2 pieces of mail that I get that I need. Probably just one each month. 1 or 2 items a month. That's it. And that's 6 days a week delivery.
We get energy, and we get the cable bill, and we get.
And my mailman is a liberal lunatic. Okay, he I don't want this guy knowing anything about my ballot. He has he wears masks, he wears gloves. If you walk near his truck, he has palpitations, he gets this anxiety attack, he's so afraid of the corona. I know he's a Democrat. I can tell by his attitude, and he doesn't need to be seen. Now, I know a lot of people may say, well, wait a minute, this is a primary, so it may say R outside the envelope because it's a primary. You don't want the mailman or anyone handling your mail to know what kind of ballot is in there. Just because it's a primary doesn't mean your vote doesn't count. And, mailmen historically are liberal. Their union just endorsed Biden. We don't want them to have anything to do with our ballots.
And that's the thing. We don't want them to have anything to do with that ballot. We've seen this happen in different places where, you need, the ballot harvesting thing that happened in California.
Now, the ballot harvesting thing in California, you can go and vote for other people in California. You can go and vote for other people you don't even know or are related to. And it's legal.
That's right, but that's the thing. And to tell you the truth, with all the bills we get here through the mail, I think the thing is I think my dad has made the decision that he wants, for tax purposes, a hard copy of the bills.
Yeah.
What we're spending on the bill for tax purposes.
You can get that that's all online. It's all online.
And like you said, we don't need the post office. And for another thing, just to let you go on that, even if you did give Mika the number for Dr. Matez, I don't think she'd take it because you're a Republican and she's a Democrat and all that.
No, you don't have to. Dr. Matez treats people regardless of political affiliation. And the reason I share that is because her and Joe Scarborough live here in Florida. When they're on television, they have they have Washington behind them on the screen. They're not there. They're here in Florida, and Palm Beach County, the same county Mar-a-Lago is in, same county that I'm broadcasting from right now. They're within the range of our signal. And if Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough mention the Steve Kane Radio Show, they can get a free consultation with Dr. Mitch Matez. And I really think she needs to talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy so she can get rid of those embarrassing mood swings. It's one thing for a woman to be in menopause. It's another thing for a woman to be in menopause on national TV live, which is what happened to her there.
It's not good, and that's the thing. You're hired for being on an even. They want you to be at least on an even keel, or to appear to be on an even keel.
Yeah. Well, let me give out Dr. Matez's number if anybody can get this to Mika and Joe Scarborough. 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. Online, hormone therapy, BocaRaton.com. And mention the Steve Kane Show, Mika Brzezinski. Get that free consultation with Dr. Matez. All right, Mike in Louisiana, thanks for the call. All right, it's 7:30 in the morning. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We will be back after this.
Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about Dr. Mitch Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management. He's my anti-aging doctor. That's right, I have an anti-aging doctor now. I was starting to slow down a bit. I met with Dr. Matez, and he found that my testosterone level was low. We men begin losing our testosterone starting at age 30, and it goes down every year after that. Dr. Matez told me I was approaching the beginning
Hey, you ready?
of andropause. That's the male equivalent of menopause. I began bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. They're tiny little
all right,
pellets
bye.
inserted under my skin, and now my testosterone levels are being restored.
Steve joining us today.
I was 25 years old. Thanks to Dr. Matez, I have more energy, I feel better, I look better, my love life is better, and my wife, she's thanking Dr. Matez too. Bioidentical hormone pellet therapy isn't just for men, it works wonders for women by reversing the symptoms of menopause, like the night sweats and the mood swings. Men and women, you don't have to live with the negative effects of aging, like loss of energy, loss of sexual desire, weight gain, or menopause. Call Dr. Matez and meet with him about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy. It works for me, and it'll work for you too. He's located in Boca, and his website is hormonetherapyBocaRaton.com, or give him a call, 561-953-5490. 561-953-5490. And tell him Brian Craig sent you.
This is Steve Kane, and I wanted to share with you some thoughts about why I chose the gardens of Boca Raton to be my final resting place. I have always been uncomfortable with thoughts of death and dying, but the very first time that I visited the gardens of Boca Raton,
See, this is,
I could
it's on my
feel
Twitter.
my apprehensions
This
vanish,
is
just knowing that I'd be spending eternity with
my setup for
family in
YouTube
such
Live. I just got that new stand over the weekend, and then I got my iPhone 11 Pro in there, and then that's the power cord. It's sitting on the control board.
A place where your loved ones can come and visit you time and time again. Remember,
I like this angle better, this camera angle better. So I think I'm going to keep it here from now on.
Help you in your time of need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pre-need with 0% financing is available and prevents your family from having to deal with these matters at the time of their grief and sorrow. The Gardens of Boca Raton, dedicated to all those who have lived and all those who live today. Let the Gardens take care of your family as they are taking care of my family. Schedule a tour today. Call 877-PLAN-561 or online at thegardens.com.
Yeah.
Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back. 33 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. I want to mention again, because I think it's important. I did it right at 6, but it's important to me, and I think it should be mentioned. Actually, it should be more than mentioned. Radio legend here in South Florida, Sonny Fox, has died. He died on Friday at age 73, and I think my first time on the radio in South Florida was calling Sonny Fox's radio show. I used to call his show before school, and I was not a good caller, and he was, But I remember once I called, he wanted people to call who were singing in the shower. And, well, I wasn't going to get in the shower with a phone, especially back then. I didn't have a phone that could reach the shower. We didn't have cell phones back then or anything. And I remember I called in, and I was running water in the kitchen sink, and called in to do it. And Sonny Fox said, "You're not in the shower. Get off the phone, Brian." But I did not. He did not know who I was. I knew who he was. I met him on a number of occasions. He was very nice to me. I was very excited to meet him. But Sonny Fox, in the history of South Florida FM radio, Sonny Fox was the number one guy, I think, in the history of FM radio in South Florida. I know people will name other people, and I was in middle school and high school when he was in the Y100 days with Sonny in the Morning with Athlete's Foot, and maybe it just has to do with whoever was big when you were in high school. But I used to listen to Sonny Fox before and on my way to school. And he was, although when I took the school bus, they used to listen to this station that I'm on right now. This station used to be a black music station. What was it, WRBD? And the school buses had AM radio, so they used to listen to this station, AM 1470, in the school buses. They should have this station on in the school buses today, because young people should be hearing this program. But Sonny Fox, the legend of South Florida radio, died. His wife said it was not of coronavirus. We don't know what it was of yet, but that's just a sad thing. Oh my goodness, he was the best. Him and Athlete's Foot in the Morning. Used to listen to that every day. But was anyone bigger in FM radio in South Florida than Sonny Fox? I can't think of anyone who was bigger, and I don't know why. There must have been something going on off the air that resulted in him not being a superstar anymore. But to me, he was a legend, Sonny Fox, and he died on Friday, age 73. Very sad, very sad. All right, so let's Y100, by the way, should dedicate their entire day of programming to Sonny Fox. Sonny Fox put Y100 on the map. I mean, that station, been around for a long time. The station's still on the air, but Sonny Fox, there was no Y100 without Sonny Fox. And I can't think of, and I was saying, if anybody's got any other names, out of the big FM legendary personalities, not only was Sonny Fox the biggest, I think he was the last living that I know of. Now, if anybody could think of any, who was bigger than Sonny Fox? Can anyone think, who was, and I'm talking about FM radio, because we know the biggest in AM radio, Steve Kane, followed by Neil Rogers. But who is the biggest in FM radio, bigger than Sonny Fox? I can't think of anyone bigger than Sonny Fox. I'm not saying there were not other famous people, but I can't think of anyone who was a bigger FM radio star than Sonny Fox. And it's just my opinion maybe, but it seems it's reality to me. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE. 1-888-465-2631. And I know Steve was friends with Sonny Fox. I just met him. I had an internship at a couple of the stations he worked at, and a friend of a girl I dated did traffic on his morning show on Waxy, and I just met him a couple times at social events, and he wouldn't have known who I was, but you know, a lot of these people, they act like they're friends with everyone when they die. I wish I was friends with Sonny Fox, but I know Steve Kane was. All right, so let's get to the summit. So the Democrats are trying to steal the election with this vote at home and make Nancy Pelosi the president. We have some confirmation that the mail-in ballots, we got a call from a lady before the bottom of the hour break. She got her ballot in the mail, and there is an R on the outside of the envelope, which lets the mailman know that's a Republican ballot. Yeah, so there's all kinds of craziness going on here, and the Democrats, they're thinking about President Pelosi next year. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Brian. It's John from Wellington.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Hey, I don't know if you covered this as far as Sonny Fox is concerned. I think he was legendary to you because of the time that you were listening.
Yeah.
His ratings were stellar at that time. But prior to Sonny Fox, I used to listen to Waxy all the time. And my heroes were Rick Shaw and Greg Budell.
Well, Greg Budell, and when I think of FM radio, you're right. You're right. Rick Shaw was huge. I used to see Rick Shaw years ago. I used to go to the draft house in Davie, and Rick Shaw was in there all the time having lunch. And Greg Budell, of course, was legendary. Steve can tell you some Greg Budell stories. But I you know what it's like? I think who's biggest to you is who was big when you were in high school, maybe. You know? So...
Was Greg Budell.
Why Greg? What station was Greg Budell on when you were listening to him? Like that?
Waxy 106. Waxy 106.
On Waxy? Was he on in the mornings?
It was morning drive.
Yeah.
Shaw wasn't on till afternoon.
Greg Budell was a superstar. There's no doubt about that. And Rick Shaw, of course. I would say in FM radio, the three biggest guys, Rick Shaw, Greg Budell, Sonny Fox. Is there anyone bigger than those three that I'm leaving off? FM.
Hard pressed to think of it.
Yeah. All right, take care. Take care. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning. Good morning. I can hear you.
Good morning. This is Jack from Clearwater, Florida. How you doing this morning?
Jack in Clearwater. What's going on in Clearwater?
I just have a suggestion for these people with mail-in ballots. Instead of letting that mail-in ballot go in with an R on it, take a magic marker and scratch through it so you can't see it.
But you don't want to defame. Well, see, here's the thing, okay? The mailmen are liberal. The Postal Workers Union just endorsed Biden. And those guys at the post office, I know this is a primary, okay? So there are Republican ballots and Democrat ballots. But that should only be known inside, not on the outside. Would you trust a Democrat to turn in a Republican ballot?
No, there's no way. But if like a magic marker, they wouldn't know.
No, they would know, because who would do that but Republicans? You know what I mean? They would, if Republicans started doing that, they would know. Everyone with a marker on it, that's a Republican ballot. Now it's a thought. You know, we shouldn't have to run back in the day, people just showed up at the voting location and went and voted. Now it'd make it all complicated.
or balloting, any of that stuff. You'd have to go, just like you said, you have to go to the office and vote. When they drivers will let you are an American citizen, you live there, you're live. There's too many dead people. My grandparents died many years ago, and they never voted Democrat, but I bet they will this time.
Well, I just got a call from a lady right before the bottom of the hour break. She got her ballot in the mail, and two people that she doesn't know who used to live there before her. And she could fill out those ballots and mail them in if she was a crook. But Democrats do that, you know. All right, appreciate the call. And by the way, how'd you find us, Clearwater?
Every morning. I love your channel. I listen to you every morning.
No, where do you listen? How do you listen?
I listen on iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, WWNN. All right, WWNN on iHeartRadio. All right, take care of Clearwater. That Clearwater, Tampa, Orlando market is a huge radio market, a huge talk radio market too. And when we have somebody listening to us that's in a hot radio market, listening to us here in South Florida, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Well, let me take this break, and then I'll get to the and I'll get to some audio sound bites on this, all right? My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Let's take a break, okay? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You've heard Steve Kane, Richie the bus driver, and many other Steve Kane listeners tell you about the great work Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care offers. Steve Kane listener, hey, called in, he had an accident, he went to
I'm
Dr.
watching
Gupta
this guy
and
walk
told
his
us
dog.
story.
The dog doesn't want to walk. I know it's why he was dragging it.
For a different thing. About a month or so ago, I called.
Oh, it's not a guy, it's a woman. Listen, it's a woman walking her dog.
And I busted my 3 front teeth. I busted my chin, but I guess I fainted, I fell, I cracked my chin, it hit my upper teeth, and it cracked my 3 front teeth. I want to thank you, and I really want to thank Dr. Gupta. I mean, besides the fact that my teeth look great, besides the fact that, his assistant is really good, really nice, they're all really nice over there, the price was unbelievable. When I came home and I told my wife, she's like, I thought that thing was going to cost you 3 times as much. I said, so did I. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Gupta. He's awesome. Appreciate your show. I listen to your show a lot. I only called in this is the second time. Both times, one was to make sure I'm going to the right office where Dr. Gupta was, and then this one to let you know that he's great. I know you know he's great. I just want your listeners to know he's great. His assistant is great. The prices are great. Everything.
Well, thank you, Freddie.
Awesome. Well, listen, I'm glad you had a great experience with Dr.
Yeah, I did.
Queensbury, New York.
Thank you, and thank you, and you guys keep up the good work over there. I appreciate it. Dr. Gupta, you keep up the good work too.
All right, there we go.
So everybody keep up.
All right, I think you guys just heard what will be the new commercial for Dr. Gupta.
Do what Hank did. Call Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. For Steve Kane listeners, free consultations. And always the best price. Give Dr. Gupta a call right now. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. That's right. That's right. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca Raton. Oh man, they gave me my Explorer back. They do great work over there. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Ed Jr. and Senior over there, listeners of this program, the Steve Kane Show, they will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. I think most people assume when they go to an auto mechanic, they're going to get screwed over, ripped off, and told they need this and that when they need nothing, sometimes. And, you shouldn't live that way. A lot of people, I think, avoid properly maintaining their vehicles because they just don't trust auto mechanics. And finding an auto mechanic that will never do a repair that your car does not need, well, that's pretty difficult to find. But lucky for us and lucky for you in this audience, we found it. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. They do it all. Oil changes, AC repair, transmission work. They do it all. New cars, old cars like mine, sports cars, trucks. They do everything. And they do it well, too. They worked on my car. They worked on my daughter's car. Oh, man. They did the work. They did it well. And the prices are out of this world low. And I priced around multiple places on the repair on my car and on my daughter's car, and they did it for a lot less over at Champaign Automotive Repair. Give them a call, all right? 561-245-8101. By the way, if you have commercial vehicles, I can help you on those too, okay? If you have a commercial fleet, and maybe you just need your car inspected. Maybe you haven't had your car checked out in a while. Take it over there. 561-245-8101. And one thing they specialize in, we're going to have Ed Sr. in here soon. And, a lot of women here in South Florida are widows. And their husbands always took care of everything. And their sons lives here, lives there. And a lot of women, they don't even know what to do when it comes to going to an auto shop. Don't worry, ladies. Head on over to Champaign Automotive Repair. They'll take very good care of you. They'll walk you through everything, and you can trust them, just like I do. I'd send my daughter over there, my wife over there, no worries. 561-245-8101. Champaign Automotive Repair. They're located at 106 Northeast Spanish River Boulevard in Boca, which is just west of Dixie Highway, on the south side of Spanish River. 561-245-8101. And again, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Okay, so let me get to some audio sound bites. Hillary Clinton's out there. Oh, yeah, she's out there. Hillary Clinton. And she's concerned about the integrity of the mail-in vote and this whole election process because Trump, of course, is going to steal it. And she is recommending people do something. Listen to this. This is Hillary Clinton over the weekend.
The idea that your vote doesn't count is an idea that is promoted by people who don't want your vote to count. So I think that you need to really understand that you are registered. Make sure, go online, make it absolutely clear that you are registered and there's no problems with your registration. Number two, decide whether you can go and vote, and if your state or your county has early voting. If you don't want to go on election day, then go early and make sure you stay there until your vote is counted. Take a picture of your vote.
By the way, how do you stay there? I'll get to this next part. How do you stay there till your vote is counted? They're not counting your vote there. If they are, well, that's a problem. But anyway.
And go early and make sure you stay there until your vote is counted. Take a picture of your vote. Take your phone with you into either the little booth or the stand where you're voting. Take a picture of your vote so you have a record that you voted and how you voted. Make sure you watch if you're putting your vote into a machine where it's supposed to be tallied.
Wow. I mean, they're spending more time setting up a racket to either steal the election from Donald Trump or contest his victory. Oh, my goodness. Okay, but this thing at the end, take your phone into the voting booth and take a photograph of your ballot. This is what Mrs. Clinton, the woman who was obsessed with becoming president and failed twice at it, recommends. Back in 2016, Trump people by the millions were taking photographs of their ballots when they voted, right? Remember this? And posting it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Because they were so excited to vote for Trump, they take a picture of their ballot, post it online. I took a picture of mine. Never thought about it before. Just did it. And then I saw people were doing it all over America. And then the mainstream media, oh, you can't take pictures. Now, this started on the East Coast because we're first in America, right? In the East Coast voters were taking pictures by the millions of their Trump votes, not people ready for Hillary. They voted, tired of that, the Clintons. But the chance to vote for Trump. And as soon as this started happening on the East Coast, mainstream media started broadcasting on national news that you cannot do that it is illegal. It is against the law to take a photograph of your ballot and post it to social media. You can't even take a picture of your own ballot. And I come to find out that's true in Florida, or at least it was. At least they said it was. Yeah. And the reason the mainstream media did that, it wasn't about whether or not it's legal or not. I really don't know. But they wanted to scare people because they knew this was a trend. This was a viral trend. It started on the East Coast, and it was going to be all day long like dominoes across social media in this country, because some people, voting locations close in California, if they close at 7, that's 10 p.m. here on the East Coast. And they immediately recognized that there was a viral trend going on social media of people taking pictures of their ballots, posting them online, and they were all for Trump. The Hillary people weren't doing this. And they didn't want this viral trend of Trump voters showing their ballots. And they scared people, and it stopped because conservatives are law-abiding people. We're not like these Democrats, right? And whether or not it's legal or not, I don't know if it's illegal or legal throughout the country. I don't know. I know they said it was illegal in Florida in the local news, so I assume it is. I don't know. But I took a picture of my ballot in 2016. I never thought of it. I did it. And I know a lot of you did too. But see, Democrats always have a scam, always have a scheme. They don't do anything honestly. If our elections were honest, they lose them all. They lose the House too. They could only win through manipulation. But now Hillary Clinton wants people to take a picture of their ballot. Well, how do we know that's their ballot? You have to take a picture somehow that proves that that's your ballot. They could just have a bunch of ballot pictures and they all look the same. I tell you, the Democrats, they're just, if I were a Democrat, I'd walk away. Not necessarily because of the issues, but when you see what they do, whether it's BLM with the violence in the streets, they're trying to steal the election, they're trying to create election fraud, they're trying to create doubt in our system. If the Democrats thought that they had any chance of winning, they wouldn't be already telling us that Trump is manipulating the outcome. I mean, we haven't had the election yet, and they're saying that Trump is manipulating the outcome. Now, if the Democrat wins, of course, there'll be no manipulation, no question. Everything was on the up and up. But anytime a Republican wins now, this started in 2000, anytime a Republican wins, well, that's because there was disenfranchisement of some people somewhere, and that's why this happened. This is what they do. All right, our number, toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Toll free call. 888-GO-CANE 1. That's Kane with a K, K-A-N-E, and the number 1, a K like in Kamala. What day did Biden announce his new pick of Kamala Harris? Has it been 5 days yet? Has it been 4 days or 5 days? They've had at least 3 press events together and haven't taken a single question in one of them? Why not? What are they afraid of? I think the fear is of Kamala, not Biden. I think they're afraid someone's going to ask her to comment on the Black Lives Matter violence in some city somewhere, and they don't want her. She can't condemn Black Lives Matter. Why do you think they're not taking questions? I was shocked over the weekend they had the 3rd event, no questions. And their handlers get nasty too. No questions, it's over. And reporters are shouting questions. Now, and the crazy thing about it is the reporters are their friends in the liberal media. So what is it about their friends in the liberal media that they're so afraid of? I've never seen anything like this before. How can you run for president and not take questions? Good morning, you're on the radio.
Make a comment about social conservatives not dropping the ball and not voting.
Mm-hmm. You're on the air. Go ahead, make your comment.
I think if you see the stats around like 2008, Obama won because a lot of social conservatives felt disillusioned with the TARP and everything, and for various reasons, and a lot of evangelical Christians sat out, like a lot of white.
No, he won. Listen, Barack Obama won in 2008 because it was a historic event, having an African American nominee of a major party, and we had John McCain. And John McCain was never liked by conservatives. Every time he ran, CNN was pushing John McCain on his. And Rush used to talk about this a lot. He was CNN's favorite Republican. So we had this tired old crook was involved in the dossier, of course, the FBI dossier against Trump, and they had Obama. It wasn't because of TARP or whatever it was you said.
Factors like, if you look also at 2004 re-election, Roe promised a lot to the social conservatives, and they were kind of taken advantage of as a...
don't take it personal, but you sound like a college professor in some political science course, as opposed to talking about real things. I mean, you got like these political theories. 04? No, the reason George Bush won in 04 is pretty simple. There was a hardcore, very hot and violent war going on in Iraq. And throughout the history of the United States, no president of any party has lost re-election in time of war. And that's why George Bush won in 04 his re-election.
Encourage people to vote, because we're one or two slots from really dominating.
Well, here's a problem. Kamala Harris wants to do what Roosevelt did. She wants to add justices to the Supreme Court if they win, and the number of justices on the Supreme Court is not defined in the Constitution. So Democrats are always looking to add seats when they have a Democrat in office, so they can get some seats. Trump just appointed some 20-something-year-old to a federal bench, which I thought was amazing. Here's the thing about that. Well, look, I got to take a break. If I start to get into that, I'll be late for the break because it's 8:00. But I appreciate the call. But get out of the head. Things aren't so logical sometimes. You're too intellectual, too cerebral. All right? Okay. We're not about being cerebral on this program, right? Okay, it's 8:00 in the morning, people. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. That's right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
9.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Does your life insurance policy only pay someone if policies allow you to access your benefits even while you are still alive?
Welcome, guys. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Have adjusted their premiums.
If you are subscribed, check and make sure you're subscribed, and click the notification bell, and like the video if you don't mind.
Living longer in America, and that means life insurance premiums are lower. Call Debbie and Dan at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 to learn more and for a free review of your existing life insurance policy. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. It's hurricane season again. This year, forecasters predict as many as 10 hurricanes. Are you prepared if a hurricane strikes? Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware is your hurricane preparation location. You don't want to go through hurricane season without a generator. Ace carry generators for all size homes at prices to fit every budget. Once a hurricane is on television, generators are the first thing to sell out. But you will have the security of knowing you will not be without electricity if a hurricane hits. With your generator from Ace, you will have the security for every hurricane season to come. Ace also have an incredible selection of chainsaws to cut away the fallen debris. Ace Hardware Deerfield is just south of Hillsboro on the west side of US 1. Beach Ace Hardware is located at 232 Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware, your first stop for hurricane prep. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks.
Hi, this is George Corey of the Soul Authority. In this time of social distancing and sheltering in place, many people have been forced to neglect their feet. We at the Soul Authority are making it possible for you to still take care of your feet while remaining in your home, as we will send a doctor to your house for all of your podiatric needs. The best part of all is that Medicare pays for this visit. So, if you're a Medicare recipient, give the Soul Authority a call today at 954-597-7060. That's 954-597-7060. Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including long-term care benefits. Call attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now.
All right. 3 minutes after 8, I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, Monday morning, the 17th day of August, 2020. Steve, you with us? I thought so. I heard you in the background there.
Part of your show, did you go into that shocking story you told me when you woke me up this morning?
Well, I will tell you, yes, I did, but I will repeat it again because it's the most important story.
Today's post, they didn't...
Are you talking about Pelosi's plan, the Pelosi plan that I was telling you about? Which one are you talking about? The thing about the vote? Okay, no.
Tell the party...
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, this is huge. Yes. I got distracted.
Not on Fox.
I got a call from someone confirming this about 40 minutes ago on the show. Let me tell people what I'm talking about. Well, sometimes we're on the cutting edge here, and we pick up on things that the rest of the mainstream media are slow to pick up on. This is huge story, okay? And I got confirmation from a Broward County voter about 40 minutes ago, live on the radio. And these mail-in ballots, on the outside of the envelopes, they have a serial number, a code on the ballot, on the outside of the envelope where anyone can see it, and it's filled with a bunch of numbers, and it includes the letter of the party you are a member of. So if you're a Democrat, there's a D on the front of the envelope. If you're a Republican, there's an R on the front of the envelope. That means the postal worker who's a member of a union that just endorsed Joe Biden this past week knows whether or not that ballot belongs to a Republican or a Democrat.
It's hard to believe that story. Actually, that's not what's hard to believe. What's hard to believe is that no one has picked up.
Well, I picked up. It is true. It is true. It is true. I got a call from a Broward County voter confirming it less than an hour ago.
Broward County voter? What does that mean?
It means it's on their ballot. They said it's true.
It's not in the New York Post. How come it's not?
Because, Steve, I noticed it before anyone else in the country has. I picked up on it. I saw this online last night, and I picked up on it.
Okay.
I'm ahead of the game.
Problem. Well, you're in tune with what's going on live, that's for sure. The question is that accurate?
It is accurate. I've seen it in multiple sources now. That one woman, her brother and her live in the same house. He's a Democrat, she's a Republican. She showed both of their ballots, same address. His has a D on the front. He's a Democrat. Her has an R on the front. She's a Republican.
Who is the woman?
She put this on Twitter, and then I got a call in the last hour. Steve, let me say it again. I got a call. No, it's a radio story because I'm making it one today. I got a call in the last hour from one of our listeners, a nice lady here in Broward County, And she said in Broward County, the ballots on the outside also tell you if it's a Republican or a Democrat, using her own ballot as an example. And she went on to tell us that she got 2 ballots for other people that she doesn't know that lived in her house long ago that she could have filled out. So the postman knows, the mailman knows whether it's a Republican or a Democrat ballot. That's not good.
Let me ask you, all right, let's try this another way. Do you think Donald Trump knows about it?
I don't think anyone knows about this because I think I picked up on something really early here that no one else has picked up on. I'm sorry that I got it first, but yeah, it's true. And those of you that have your ballots at home, call us. Anyone
out there that can shed some light on this? It does not compute to me that, let's say the story is 100% true, the fact that the New York Post would not even mention it.
Steve, no one's picked up on this yet. I am the first person to pick up on this. I know that it's hard for you to believe that I'm ahead of the game on something, but it happens.
I'm not attacking.
Well, you're attacking me.
What a great way to start the weekend. We have an issue between you and I concerning the internet. You view it as gospel.
Steve, I got a call from a lady, one of our listeners, I got a call in Broward who had her ballot in her hand and was telling me that it's true in Broward County. It's not just something that's online.
So easy. If, in fact, let's assume the story for a second is true. If it was true, it would be...
It's true.
People just to destroy all the Republican...
Correct.
To which of...
Correct. Yes.
And the fact that this... If it was a legitimate story and became public...
It is legitimate. Steve, I'm ahead of everybody on this. I know this is hard for you to believe. I am ahead of everyone in the country about this, on this. And I'll tell you, the Postal Workers Union just endorsed Biden. Okay? So, you might as well have SEIU handling the ballots if you're going to have the post office handle them. It is true.
Convince me how important it is.
Now, listen, ballots are different because it has progressed on the radio this morning here on the Steve Kane Show, the longest running radio show in Florida. It's beyond Steve, I just picked up on this before anyone. Don't you understand? I'm just ahead of the game. Now, every ballot is different by county. Each county has its own ballot, at least in Florida. And it's throughout the country it's this way, too. There's not a uniform Florida ballot. But and it may not be true everywhere, but I'm telling you it is true in some places. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on. Oh, sorry about that. If you would like to call back, please do. I just disconnected the callers, but
just could shed light on.
Yeah, Steve doesn't take my word for it. You've known me 30 years, so you don't take my word for it.
You know what? Who was it?
Oh my goodness.
The Soviet Union trust, but
okay. Well, I had verified with a caller in the last hour.
1-888 go Kane 1, and this is where we need.
You're obvious, Steve. You were obviously overwhelmed with grief learning the passing of Sonny Fox, radio legend Sonny Fox, this morning. That's why you're so distrustful of me.
On the air at the time.
Not that I know of. He hasn't been on the air. Last time I heard him, he was on satellite radio hosting a comedy program on satellite radio a couple years back. But you were friends with Sonny Fox.
Yes. When I first came down here, he was the only guy I knew. We worked for the same organization or something.
Oh yeah.
Who was that?
He was at Y100 when you came down here. You were at
big building. He was there when I was there.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe. Yep. Okay. All right. Let's take some calls. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, unfortunately, weeks ago I had heard a caller call in. I don't even remember what show, but her dad had gotten a mail-in ballot, and that's right when they were trying to push early voting. And she said that unfortunately, somehow they knew that on the inside and outside that what his registration said.
Oh my goodness.
Chris, this is very vague. What you somehow she knew. You don't know if it was on the inside or the outside. I mean, this is a true.
See, Chris, Steve does. It is. Steve, I am telling you, it is true. I have seen a ballot. I've seen 2 ballots that show this, and I had one of a lady caller in the last hour confirmed it with her Broward County ballot. But my word's not good around here, you know.
And she said that, and it reminded me of the woman that called in about her father's ballot. And she said the same thing. Now, she didn't have the numbers
Steve
like
Kane
Brian
Show.
mentioned, but she said that there was a way that they knew. I thought it was spelled out, which I really thought was weird.
Yeah.
That was just a few weeks ago. But she knew, and it was...
The way it's worked on the ballots I saw, okay, and from the caller in the last hour, there's some type of like a serial number on the outside of the envelope, you know, numbering that ballot. And there's a letter inside the numbers, D if it's a Democrat ballot, R if it's a Republican ballot. That's what I have seen and been told. All right, appreciate. You want to take some more calls, Steve? Okay. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the radio.
Oh, hi, good morning. Yes, I'm just calling regarding the ballots. I'm from Pennsylvania. For the primary we had in June, I received a mail-in ballot. The mail-in, it had an internal envelope marked Republican, and the outside envelope was also marked Republican. That was for the primary in Pennsylvania.
No, it's not. It's still very bad. Listen. The mailmen are liberals. The postal worker are liberals. They just endorsed Biden and Kamala Harris. They should not have any. Listen, if you get the primary ballot and it says Republican, and then you get the general election that doesn't say it, they know you're a Republican. They know your ballot's a Republican. They delivered your Republican ballot, this is bad news, and this is very dangerous for our democracy.
I just wanted you to know.
All right, appreciate the call. Let's take another call. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
That call doesn't count, by the way. Was a pro.
No, it does count. It does count. It does count.
Sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. True.
Hey.
Good
morning, Archie.
Yeah, I was thinking with my cousin yesterday who lives in Chicago, and he told me, Arturo, I just received a mail-in ballot for me and my son, and my son hasn't lived in the state of Illinois for years.
Yeah.
Imagine, you can multiply that. Can you imagine how many mail-in ballots are going to be
Oh, that's what they're hoping.
there for years?
That's what they're hoping. Listen, let me explain why it matters about the primary, Steve. Okay? You have the same mailman, and stick with this, Arturo, because Steve doesn't take my word for anything. So I need you to confirm or deny what I'm telling you. I take it personal when you say that I'm not credible and you don't believe me. I take it personal. I'm sorry. Yes, you do. We just heard from another call. Okay. Listen. The video, slow down. Let me tell you, let me get through this. Don't go anywhere, Arturo, because I want your comments on this. What I saw online was a woman showing her ballot and her brother's ballot. He's a Democrat. She's from the same address. Here's the thing, okay? Let's say it only identifies Republican or Democrat on the outside of the envelope for the primary. We have the same mailman for years. The mailman knows everybody and is on his route. They do the same thing every day. Even if the general election ballot doesn't say Republican or Democrat, if the primary one does, they know whether you're a Republican or a Democrat in your house. It is not ridiculous.
Cross references the.
They know. They get Arturo. What do you think, Arturo?
Listen, you have crazy people knocking out Trump signs on the lawn. You could have mailmen destroying ballots that are being.
They just endorsed Biden. Yes.
No. Let me just clarify something about my position. I don't mind getting attacked. I want to get attacked for my position. I'm not saying that if in fact it were true that it wouldn't be a bigger advantage for Democrats, and the reason
it is true
because Democrats are the ones that commit the fraud. Let's just admit it. You know, so if there are nutty postmen out there that would be inclined to try to insert themselves and their political position into the election, they would probably be Democrats, and it would be a scary thing. I find it hard to believe that if it's true that Donald Trump doesn't take over the mic any day at 5 o'clock and blast it to the American people, because it is such a shocking thing.
Well, unfortunately, he's not at Mar-a-Lago in our listening range right now, but I'm telling you, Steve, we're just ahead of the game on this. I mean, oh my goodness.
So to win, I mean, Bush barely did beat Gore by a few thousand votes. All you need
It was a couple hundred votes.
the votes are just
Correct.
picking them up, or even when they get to the voting center,
That's right.
people are there. As long as you have people, manual human beings involved in the process, it is acceptable to fraud.
All right, appreciate the call, Arturo. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not going to give my name, but I'm a poll watcher for our county.
Steve Kane Show.
I'm looking at my wife's ballot, and I can tell you that it's got the precinct number and then another number under it that's called the ballot style. And in this case, it's got 3 numbers and a letter, and the letter is the party.
Wow. And is that a Republican?
Do you have any
And it's right in
theories?
the window. It's right in the window when you look through the envelope that's mailed. From
All right. So look, if I could ask you a question, do you have any theories as to why this hasn't become an issue up till now? Brian's story is that he found it early.
Yeah.
Today it's going to be over.
I didn't say by the end of today.
It's a huge story. Story? Is it true?
I can just tell you that I've been poll watching for hours in the early 90s. And I've never seen it where the ballot or the mailing envelope, that's the outside envelope, actually tells the ballot.
No, I've never seen that either.
The envelope.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's outrageous. And Steve, if you probably the postman.
County.
No, it's elsewhere too. And I didn't say you're going to hear it anywhere today. Okay, we are so far ahead of the game on this. I hope everyone picks up on what I'm picking up on. But I mean, I've got sirens going off in my brain. What about you, caller? You're a poll watcher. Is this frightening to you?
Yes, they shouldn't be disclosing what's inside the ballot.
That's correct.
Primary.
Well, especially the party, because it's too easy to lose the votes you don't want to.
It's like when the Playboys used to come in the plain brown wrapper, right?
Yeah, you don't. If the mailman doesn't want to deliver Republican ballots to the places like Palmer and others where there are masses of ballots dropped, they don't have to deliver them.
Listen, we got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer
hold on, you'll be
at
next. What's
some
your name?
point in your life? And
What is
foot
it, Carlos?
ulcers, when you have
You're next,
diabetes,
hold
can
on.
lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They will provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation
Why is Steve being
due to
argumentative about
diabetes
this?
is
'Cause he doesn't-
preventable
Because he doesn't want to accept that I picked up on something that Rush and Fox hasn't picked up on, or Trump.
Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per
Call in,
tire.
Mike.
Tires
Call
for
in.
a
Get this
Emily's
down.
car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
Listen to the
Call
Steve
in,
Kane Show
call
on
in.
iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we are back. We are back. All right, you with us, Steve? There you go. Okay, let's go back to the phones. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. I just have a question. Is there any way of knowing how these judges lean? You know, whether they lean to the left or the right to these people?
Are you talking about the local judges? I guess you could Google them and research them, you know, but the judges, they don't tell you if they're Republican or Democrat. They should. I would never vote for a Democrat for judge, especially in this day and age.
Yep, absolutely. That was my question.
Okay, that was it. Okay, so he settled that, but all right. So you don't trust me, but that's okay, Steve. Our number 1-888 go Kane 1. Okay, all right. Okay. Well, if some other people would like to call in about their ballots, you were certainly welcome. Yeah.
Should open it up to me. Today's a big day. It is astounding. I always thought when they said that Biden wasn't going to be there, I thought it was for the big speech they were talking about. It appears it's the whole convention. They're not going to let a single reporter ask him a single question.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Doesn't anybody's censors go?
Did you see? They got this new video they put out about Biden driving his classic tricked out Corvette. He's got this 60s Corvette, totally restored. I guess it's all that Ukrainian money, you know, Burisma money. If you, that's right. You know, that's right.
Deal.
Yeah, right. But, you know, he has this classic 60s vet of Biden that he drives at a high rate of speed, wearing a mask and no seatbelt. It has things on it I've never seen on a Corvette before. You guys gotta check it out. But I noticed no one was riding in the car with him. Kamala, his wife. It's like they don't want to be driven by Joe. I wouldn't either. All right, let's take some more calls. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Morning. You know, I can go to the supervisor of elections or the local Democratic Party or Republican Party, and I can get a list with addresses and
Steve Kane
names
Show.
and party affiliation of
Steve
everyone
Kane
who
Show.
voted for the last 100 years, and whether or not they're super
Yeah.
or non-super voters, so it's available.
Yeah.
Doubt that the postal worker unions get that information, and probably.
But having the R or the D on the envelope really cuts down on a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that I knew about, but
Wait. Okay, so let's talk, because Steve doesn't believe me. What did you know about? What did you know about?
I knew there was a barcode on there. I knew there was a serial number, and I also knew that there's some sort of a ballot identifier put in place in Broward when Brenda Snipes was.
Oh, the Democrat. Oh my gosh, good job, Brenda. It's not just Broward though. It's in counties throughout this country, from what I'm understanding. All right, I appreciate the call. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am Vicki in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, my hometown.
Yes. Okay, so I actually had this idea a few elections ago, and I said it one time on channel 16W TVN, and they didn't pay any attention to it. But do you remember Jerry Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's the way we should change the voting.
To Jerry Lewis, and what do you mean? Change it to Jerry Lewis and the telethons. What does that mean?
Yeah, you remember how you voted for in the telethon for the best performer or what?
Best performer? I have no idea what you're talking about. You mean do it like American Idol? Oh my gosh, what's happened to my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, Steve? I don't know what's going on. They're losing their mind in Columbus, Ohio. So you've heard it from I don't know how many people now, Steve. A few people. So do you believe it now, or are you in denial?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes because I'm tired of talking about it. So.
Okay, I mean, you know.
Trump doesn't know about it and wouldn't.
Well, someone's got to know first. I just found out first. I mean, I know that's upsetting to you. Obviously. Okay, now let me get to some sound bites, though. I do have some sound bites. Donnie Deutsch was on MS-13 over the weekend. And Donnie Deutsch, I don't know if he's still involved with her, but he was involved in a relationship with the president's ex-wife, Marla Maples. And Marla Maples was dumped by the president. She cheated on him. And I'm sure she's plenty upset about that because she thinks she would be the first lady today. And so she used to whisper in Donnie Deutsch's ear about Trump. So Donnie Deutsch went on MSNBC this morning and he was talking about Trump voters. Or this was over the weekend. Listen.
1 in 3 Americans are racist. Is not going to be majority white. That the black man or the brown man or the yellow man or woman are going to come and take their jobs and take away their suburbs and scale them in. There's no coincidence. Yesterday, Trump brought up Kamala Harris and the whole birther thing. That is the only explanation because you can't even point to the economy anymore.
By the way, Trump didn't bring up the birther thing. A reporter asked him about her eligibility, and it was a Democrat reporter. Trump didn't bring it up. So Donnie Deutsch says 1 in 3 Americans are racist. As the white guy telling 2 white people on the show that people are afraid the country's turning brown. Well, I'll tell you what, MSNBC isn't turning brown. Seems mighty white over there. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Yes, I have the ballot mailed to me. Nothing is on the ballot that was mailed to me. I voted early, by the way, so I didn't use it. I have the envelope. And there's nothing on...
Where are you calling us from?
From Lauderhill.
Well, I've talked to 2 people, actually 3 callers today. One of them was a poll watcher. Well, there was a woman who called me earlier that had her ballot in her hand, and she said...
Do you have it in your hand?
No.
There's no number?
Not on the outer envelope. But on the envelope that I would return my ballot, in the back where you sign your name, and over in the opposite corner your name is typed, and under that there's a number with an O.
So it's on the return envelope. So see, I was right. Oh my goodness. So and that's the one that the mailman will see. It's a scandal. I got you. We're going to break for the bottom of the hour. I got the message from Tyler. Tyler just sent me a message, and I got the message was received, Steve. Yeah, we're communicating. All right, listen, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. I'm Brian Craig. Steve, of course, here with us. We'll take our break and be back right after this.
Think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All right, we are back, and it's time to check in with Richard Pearl from Simply Natural with the Morning Health Report. Hey, Richard Pearl. Hey.
The fact that so many people from Steve Kane's show come to the store and they get what we're about, and they see that we really care about them. And I wanted to just briefly just go into some of the things that we do when people come in. If you come to Simply Natural, we ask you a lot of questions. We don't just say, okay, you come in and you say, well, I want this. Okay, well, why do you want this? We find out why you want something, what your history is if we can, if you're willing to share. And we also ask you what medicines you're on. Even though we're not prescribing medicines, we want to make sure that nothing that we offer you will contraindicate anything you're doing. And we look to do everything we can to get to the history of you so that we can figure out what's in your best interest. We even have blood pressure machines that we just do for you if you want. There's no charge for that, or some other things that we do.
Oh my goodness.
But the idea is that if you come to Simply Natural, we're actually looking to find a way to improve whatever it is that's going on with you. And if there's nothing going on with you, to look at other areas to enhance your well-being, to affect cell structure, so that you can live a longer life, a better life. And I've noticed that the people who've come in from your show are very receptive. They get that we're really sincerely interested in the well-being. And I just appreciate everybody who comes in, because it is simply when you're in a space where you're supposed to care about people, and you get to do what you love, and you get that the people get it. It's really...
Well, Richard Pearl, I got to tell you, I begin my day and I end my day with supplements from Simply Natural. Steve and I have known you for over 20 years, and when we first met, before you joined us here on the program, Steve and I went over to your store and we talked to you for quite some time. And I told you, I said, what stands out to me most about you is you're into prevention. You're in, when it comes to nutraceuticals, and that's very important to me.
Before it happens.
Yeah.
Although we're very good at helping.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People to a better place is how I look with my life and help.
Yeah. No doubt about that. Well, listen, Simply Natural is open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're located just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University Drive in Sunrise. The address is 8271 Sunset Strip, and you can call Richard Pearl over there at 95 during the hours they're open, 954-741-4045, 954-741-4045, and don't forget Wednesdays at 11 a.m. you can listen to Richard Pearl's show, Pearls of Health, on our radio stations. All right, Richard Pearl, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, thanks so much. All right, you back with us, Steve? Okay, one of our listeners just sent me a photograph of their mail-in ballot envelope. They put this on Twitter, and this is the serial. They're a Republican. Here's the number on the ballot on the outside of the envelope that they're mailing back in. A as in Apple, 019001R as in Republican, which shows that it's a Republican ballot. And they wrote, and another listener just wrote me. They said, those numbers are used to sort the mail by the machines. Who's to say they won't separate them by R's and D's?
That's the point.
I know. Exactly. So this is frightening.
It's real. I give up.
Oh, thank you.
Well, notice this and not to have said anything about it. I mean,
no one's picked up on this yet, Steve. We're ahead of the game. All right, let me get to some more audio.
Outrageous that, like me, they didn't believe it.
Let me play. This is this guy. He looks like Henry Winkler. He's the head of the New York City police union that endorsed Trump.
President, we know that you hold police officers in the scene. So there's not many of these that are given out. But we're giving it to you today, Mr. President. We hope that you can put this in a prominent spot. And that people that can see it and realize that those that are in the mob that are tearing down what we do, our profession has a supporter in the Oval Office that understands what this stands for.
This police union endorsement in New York City that Trump received is huge, man.
Do you know that 14 people were killed? I don't know if it was last week, all last week, or just over the weekend. But 14 killed in New York.
Yeah, I know. It's disgraceful.
I'd like to see. You notice you don't get a lot of articles that give a true picture of how bad it is out there. You really don't. I mean, how many people do you think were killed across the country? You've seen that figure in any publication, the total?
Well, there's a story that if you haven't seen it yet, you will, because it just happened. Did you see the video of the police officer in Seattle? Oh my goodness. I'm going to play you the audio. I did cut out, there was some bad language here by the BLMers. A Seattle police officer in his cruiser and uniform pulls up to a group of Black Lives Matter protesters in Seattle. Now, if you remember last week on Friday's show, Black Lives Matter Seattle were demanding white people leave their homes and give them to them. This is a Seattle police officer. He pulled up to Black Lives Matter in Seattle, Washington, and this is the conversation.
Huh? Not really, you're around.
Okay, now the louder voice is the Black Lives Matter guy because he's filming. He says, "I'm not having a good day because you're around." He's talking because he's a cop. He's talking to the cop.
Huh? Not really, you're around. Oh, well, I'm sorry for that, but don't worry, man, because guess what? I'm leaving. You guys won. 2 months, baby. I'm out. You're about to resign? I'm gone, bro. How you feeling about that? You're about to resign? I'm feeling great.
Okay, so now the police officer just he put in his paperwork to Black Lives Matter. He's given up on Seattle. He's quit. And I guess he's 2 months away from retirement. So he put in his papers to retire in 2 months.
Huh? Not really, you're around. Oh, well, I'm sorry for that, but don't worry, man, because guess what? I'm leaving. You guys won. 2 months, baby. I'm
You're about to resign?
Gone, bro.
How you feeling about that? You're about to resign?
I'm feeling great.
You're about to resign or what?
Yeah, I'm feeling great.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I am leaving this department. You guys won.
Could I get an interview from you about that?
You cannot.
So you're just tired of police brutality, or are you tired of what's going on right now? Oh, us.
He's like, I'm quitting because of Black Lives Matter. The guy says, are you quitting because you're fed up with police brutality? He says, no, I'm quitting because of you. And this, by the way, this Seattle cop is in uniform. He's in his cruiser.
Brutality, or are you tired of what's going on right now? Oh, us. Why? Hey, this guy said that he's resigning. He said he's resigning. Hey, he said he's tired of us. He's gonna resign because of Black Lives Matter, not because he's tired of the police. Hey, you Bob.
They asked him for his badge number, so he's giving them he's giving them his badge number.
Hey, you triggered, boy? You triggered? Oink, oink. Oink, oink. Yeah. You and your blue light, boy. You and your blue light. No, we ain't never gonna be friends. We'll never see eye to eye. We'll never see eye to eye. I don't give a f if you take that badge off. You'll never be my people. You'll never be my friend. Go to Iconic. Get yourself a private security.
Oh my gosh, so he quit right there on the spot. And that's going to be all over TV probably today. But he's fed up. They lost their police chief, and the cops are quitting. So BLM's still pissed off, even when the cops and the chief quit.
And that's why none of the Democrats at this convention are going to take questions, because they don't want to be confronted with things like that. By the way, the major reason they're not taking a lot of questions, it seems like from anybody, not so much.
Kamala Harris has not taken one question since she accepted this job offer. Not one.
You want to know what I think is the largest contributing factor to that decision is because this is a party that is together only from a superficial point of view. There are a lot of animosities, a lot of hatreds, a lot of those ill feelings on both sides that are being buried, and questioning only can bring that out. And they're trying to get through this convention without having
her defined, without seeing what she thinks.
They don't want to.
Well, I think a little more specific. I think you're absolutely right, and I think they're afraid they're going to ask her about the Black Lives Matter violence, and she's not going to condemn it, and the campaign is afraid of that. Yeah. Well, that's not good when you're going into a convention, because that would be the talk of the nation if she wouldn't condemn the violence.
It's going to be that he won't talk to anybody.
Or her.
Well, I think the key issue is how they're going to react.
You know, Joe Biden was driving his Corvette in the car by himself wearing a mask. What the hell's that about? I mean, he's by himself in the car and he's wearing a mask.
Publicity.
I wonder if he even has a valid driver's license. Is he legally driving that car? I don't know. Yeah, it's a statement, exactly. Oh, we got to take our break, Steve, and then we'll be back with the gold report. All right? Okay.
Barry Siegel. Barry did a great job for me and my family when we needed a revocable living trust. Listen to one of our listeners, Ray, talk about his experience with Barry Siegel.
I want to praise Barry Siegel. And one of the most important...
So you guys like this new camera angle? I like this new camera angle a lot.
You have to know that you're dealing with an honest person. I had to go up to Myrtle Beach with my sister because her husband died, and I was helping her out. She had a trust and everything. She had not revised it.
Mainly because there's no wires in front of me now.
And you know, Barry says every 3 years at least. I called Barry's office because I had a question. I let the secretary know. I said, look, I'm calling from South Carolina. I know the laws are different, and I'm just asking for information for my sister. Now, most people would just blow you off, right? Yeah. Almost immediately, within a few minutes, Barry himself called me. I asked my questions and so on.
Oh, hey, Mike.
He was very patient. I was quite a while with him, and talked about a lot of things,
Mike, you didn't put up your vlog from when we had lunch. It's been over a week. I'm starting to take it personal.
Because I've dealt with a lot of them.
You don't want to be seen with me.
Have that you can trust them, and you're getting.
I had lunch with Mike and his wife.
Call Attorney Barry Siegel right now.
A little over a week ago.
1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855 toll-free FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
Attention seniors over the age of 65. In this unsettling time due to COVID-19,
I'm kidding,
if
Mike.
you've recently lost your job or been forced into retirement and want to learn about all of your Medicare health insurance options, call Debbie and her team at I Will Advisors, 954-753-8080 for a free review of your existing health insurance plan and to receive a free no-obligation education on all of your Medicare options. I Will Advisors are carrier neutral, which means they don't just represent one insurance carrier, they represent all major national carriers and will guide you through the confusing process to find the right plan for your particular needs. Free of charge. Call Debbie and her team right now. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeart.
All right, we're back. You ready? Yes.
Kane Show, the Gold Report, brought to you by William Youngerman. William Youngerman, of course, one of the leading experts on the precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, all of them, really in the world. And William has been advising his clients on trends and movements in the gold, silver market for over 50 years. And we have been blessed here to have him as our gold reporter for the last 16 years, and I hope you've been following his advice.
Hey,
because if you
how
have,
you doing?
You're probably got a pretty big smile on your face. William, what's it looking like today?
Looking very good. The markets have been consolidating for the last week. Last week we saw them pull back and give us some buying opportunities, while gold closed out the week at $1,944.60 the ounce, which was down $8.20 on Friday. Silver took a big hit after getting up to almost $30 in the week before. We saw it close down on Friday $1.06 at $26.42. Platinum was down $14 at $9.34, and palladium closed out the week $2,010. That was down $37. This morning we see it back up again, and as I said, we seem to be getting a good consolidation on the metals. Gold trading as low as $1,930 overnight, and then coming back strong this morning to be up $17.70 right now at $1,962.50 the ounce. Silver up 81 cents right now at $27.25, while platinum is up $11 at $9.45, and palladium up $65 at $2,075. So a good consolidation going on. The dollar's still under pressure, and that's going to continue to give added boost to the precious metals. And as I said, we are consolidating around these numbers, which is very healthy for the market after having a huge run up, some hundreds and hundreds of dollars, of $600 for gold over this year. A great buying opportunities, and this is pretty much very indicative of a good, solid market, as opposed to markets that run way up and then run all the way back down again. That's not what we've seen with precious metals. So take advantage of any dip in prices and add to your position.
All right, stop by William Youngerman. Do it today. Located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's the Bank of America building. You'll find William on the first floor directly across from the bank. You can reach him by phone. William, give him the phone number over there.
1-800-327-5010. 800-327-5010.
And don't forget that museum quality website at WilliamYoungerman.com. William, great talking to you. We'll check in tomorrow right around this time. All right?
Have a great day.
Okay. Oh, man. All right, so all the violence that the Democrats are doing, Presley from the Squad, she's the black woman with the bald hair. Yeah, she would...
Look.
Some guys are into the bald look,
The right.
Yeah.
Certainly she's a little short in the face.
Well, she gave a little talk, and it involves an election tactic of the Democrats. Listen.
I'm looking to the public. This is as much about public outcry and organizing and mobilizing and applying pressure so that this GOP-led Senate and that these governors that continue to carry water for this administration, putting the American peoples in harm's way, turning a deaf ear to the needs of our families and our communities, hold them accountable. Well, make the phone call, send the email, show up. There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Wow, did you hear that? She's calling for, there needs to be unrest in the streets, and it needs to be, and basically it means it should be there forever. As long as there's unrest in our lives, there should be unrest in the streets. Well, when will the struggle be over?
Unless he decides to publicly contradict that obviously is shared by their candidate.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why him and Kamala have not taken one question since he announced her as his pick. Not one from even a friendly reporter, because they'll ask about these kinds of things. So Presley of the Squad, there should be unrest in the streets.
Do you think they're going to be successful throughout the week in bottling up the...
This is going to be a disaster. Listen, you're not online, so you don't know, but this new remote thing that's going on, okay, which is what they're doing, has been a disaster all over this country for all kinds of events, even very high budgeted ones. I was talking about San Diego Comic-Con this year. They couldn't meet, so they did a few weeks back, they did a virtual Comic-Con convention like the Democrats. It was a disaster. It was a technical disaster, and that was with Hollywood movie and television people working on the production, and it was a technical disaster. This thing with the Democrats is going to be a disaster all week long, and I think a lot of it's pre-recorded. AOC's 60 Seconds is pre-recorded.
What I was thinking about as I was watching this, with AOC, she is definitely steaming around this time. I mean, Bernie gets 8 minutes and she gets 60.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's recorded. Her 60 seconds is pre-recorded. It's not live.
Part of the concept they've got here is to bury us in stars. All those Looney Tunes out on the West Coast, and the actors,
yeah,
and all that. And what other big event do we have every year that revolves around the stars of Hollywood? It's the Academy Award.
Yes.
And what has the reaction been from the public to the Academy recently?
No one watches.
No one watches. They've been embarrassingly, humiliated in every one of these things. They're trying to find ways to disguise the Academy Award.
Yeah.
But it seems that the genius is running the Democratic Party.
Well, Steve, a lot... Yeah.
The television ratings.
Well, you're not factoring in tonight. Tonight, Michelle Obama is highlighting tonight. That should be very exciting.
How long does Michelle get to?
I'm sure longer than AOC.
Oh, AOC must be upset about that.
I know. She's pouting right now as we... And that they're making AOC pre-record it because they don't want her to not leave. You know what I mean? So it's... Stay up there for 20 minutes. Yeah. They don't trust her. I think a lot of it's going to be recorded because recorded things can have less technical problems than live. But I've been watching these live events these last few months, and they have technical... The internet just is not as reliable as television. I mean, we have technical problems on our YouTube live feed. Anything that's over the internet is not... There's always sound problems, visual problems. People can't hear each other. things don't work, they lose the connection. Doing this, and Trump's campaign every night. The convention's over this week. Every night at 11, the Republicans are doing a response every night at 11 p.m. to everything that happened that day at the Democrat convention.
Through a week.
Yeah, and since exactly, and he's taking a lot of questions from liberal jerks to show that he'll take on anybody. And since we go second and they go first, all the mistakes they make, we'll be able to make sure we don't make technically. Too, they're at a real disadvantage.
Yeah, being the home team has its advantages.
Oh yeah. Now listen, I gotta say now. I know you didn't take my word on the ballot thing, but I know that you take my word that the MyPillow is the most comfortable pillow you could ever sleep on because you have one.
Take your word, I sleep on it every night.
Yeah, and the My. Well, let me tell you this about MyPillow. A couple things here. MyPillow is running an incredible offer. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at mypillow.com, buy one MyPillow, get a second one free. That's an incredible deal. Buy one MyPillow, get the second one free. You've got to use the promo code KANE. The MyPillow body pillow that you have, now it's a MyPillow that is the full length of the body. The normal price is $89.99. When you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, just $29.99. And this is one, I haven't talked about this in a while, but I have this at home. Everyone in my house sleeps on a MyPillow, right? I sleep on a MyPillow. My wife sleeps on a MyPillow. I have the MyPillow sheets. By the way, the MyPillow Giza cotton sheets, buy one set, get a second set free. My daughter sleeps on a MyPillow. And even my dogs and cats sleep on the MyPillow pet bed. And let me tell you, Steve, that MyPillow pet bed is when we got it in the mail, I laid down on it. It's got the same thing inside of it that the MyPillows have. My dog and my cats, they love it. And when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, you can get the MyPillow pet bed for just $19.99. And it's machine washable, the whole thing. You just throw it in. I wash mine every week. You put it in the dryer, boom, it's like brand new. And it also comes with that 10-year warranty. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, for all of these specials and more. They've even upped the deal for Steve Kane listeners. When you use the promo code KANE, KANE, on the MyPillow mattress, you can save up to $475 off the MyPillow mattress. Yeah, it used to be $400. They upped it $75. $475. But you got to use the promo code KANE. There's a lot of other specials there too. I'll just mention one more. The MyPillow towel set. Buy one set, get a second set free. They come in 7 different colors. Absolutely. So you got to use the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout at mypillow.com. All right, Steve, we are out of time.
And we are glad you chose to sit in with us this morning. We'll be back to do it all over again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Until then, on behalf of Tyler Kane, our ace engineer here on the Steve Kane Show, our technical director, Brian, of course, my partner, and you know me, I'm yours truly, Steve Kane. Till tomorrow, God bless Donald Trump.
WNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
All right, that's it. We're out of time. Oh boy, okay, I gotta turn our voicemail on, and then I'm out of here. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm in a bit of a hurry today to get out of here because I got something going on. Okay. And that's everything. I'll take you guys with me. Hold on, I'll show you guys. If you haven't seen it before, The Way Out. This is the studio control board. And there's my clock. I will take you guys with me. On the way out, at least. Say, there's the guest mics, Trump flag. Okay, there's the beautiful view. That's the beach over there. See, another studio over here. There's 4 studios in this building. Beautiful day in Florida. See, there's my old Explorer that Champaign Automotive Repair fixed for me. She married 3 illegals, oh my goodness. Quiet out, isn't it? Beautiful day. Really? You have the same Explorer, same color? Yeah, this was my parents' car long ago. And my stepfather drove this. He was in the construction business, and when my stepfather died, my mom gave it to me. Let me take this off. Yeah, this is true. This is the one Champaign Automotive fixed. Here, I'll show you guys. Hey. 181,220 miles. And it drives very good. I know they did a great job. This is a new case I got here. I'm not sure how this one works. There it goes. Yeah, this is a new case. I just got it. I paid $5 for this phone case. So I don't know how well it'll work. I don't have my sunglasses, I don't think. Ugh. No sunglasses. Thanks. But I got this. Trump, baby. Really? Almost 250,000 miles? That's awesome. That's to the moon, man. That's awesome. Yeah, this is pretty. And then I got this for the Bluetooth. See? I got Bluetooth in this car because this car is so old. It has a cassette. It's got a cassette deck and a CD player. So this gives me Bluetooth. I paid $10 for this on Amazon, and I got Bluetooth. I know, it's pretty good.
Lauderdale reminds listeners to believe
this is our radio station.
Law enforcement officers can do. The staff at Chi Yacht Refinishing believes that law enforcement is essential to continuing
my
our
radio
freedom
station. One of them. This is
assaults on the men and
95.3
women of
FM.
Law enforcement. Let's keep the blue in red, white, and blue.
That's right.
That message of community encouragement and strength is courtesy of Chi Yacht Refinishing in Fort Lauderdale, where they are on the air in support of our men and women in uniform. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Of course, I got this.
Order in the court. It's a
yeah. Well, thank you, Nick. Yeah, today's show was pretty good. Today's show was pretty good, I must say. I thought today's show was good. Oh, boy, it's a beautiful day in Florida. I have the back seat down because I was hauling some stuff. I can't believe I left my sunglasses at home. That Florida sun is bright. Here's some people. Here's somebody in the car by themselves with a mask on. Unbelievable. Driving on the left side of the road, too. Unreal. I'm pretty close to the radio station. I'm very lucky. It's about the same distance as our old studio to my house, but it's a better drive than the other place. Yes, I'm back. I'm in a cul-de-sac here. Oh. Those new tires I got feel so good on this car. It's like driving on pillows. It's I would say right now it's kind of it's in the 80s, which is cool. That's why I got the windows down and everything. Very nice. Perfect weather right now. Perfect weather. Doesn't get better. It'll be really hot though later today. I was looking for this hat all weekend and I couldn't find it. It was in the back seat of my car. I was tearing the house up for this hat. A listener sent me this. This is a nice hat. I like this hat. Wow, 80. Oh, that's Florida. Let's see if I can. What the heck is that? What did I just do? There we go. The screen just went blue. I hit something and made the screen go blue. Did it go blue to you guys? I'm not sure what button I pushed. I pushed some button. That's blue. Are the Democrats trying to interrupt our transmission and make us go blue? Yeah. Democrat interruption of our transmission. Oh, I know why. I flipped the camera around, the back of the case is blue. Right. See? We're going Democrat, people. We're going Democrat. There we go. I got the camera covered up with the phone case. It's holding the phone. Scared me for a second. I was going to show you guys, this is a nice road with lots of palm trees, but I got the camera on the back covered up. Maybe you'll see some over here. See if you can see some. There goes some palm trees. Over here's where I saw the lady with the walk-away car. I just drove by where that is. Car's probably there because she works there. I am not on Glades, but I'm not going to tell you where I am because I'm heading home. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to sign off, but I'll see you all later, all right? I got a podcast today coming up, so stay tuned for that, all right? Take care.